Charlotte stood next to Zhao Chun. She raised her hand, and a data panel appeared in front of her. She explained to Zhao Chun, after several battles, we currently have 20,000 interstellar warships remaining. Of these, only about 10,000 still have combat power above 70%. I also calculated our current supplies. They can only support 10,000 warships for 10 days of intense fighting. If the battle lasts longer, we need to control the consumption. Otherwise, supply shortages could cause interruptions. The Shadow Dragon Legion's battles always consumed a lot of resources. Before each war, they needed to prepare many supplies, but they were never enough. This has been a source of frustration and helplessness for Zhao Chun. Are 10,000 ships enough? Zhao Chun asked. Charlotte nodded and said, according to our pre-made battle plan, 10,000 ships for 10 days is enough to achieve our goals. I have reorganized these 100,000 interstellar warships into 3 combat fleets, called the First, Second, and Third. Additionally, there are 2 special operations fleets accompanying them, as well as the Shadow Dragon Guard fleet. The remaining Shadow Dragon interstellar warships will immediately retreat and return along their original routes to end this mission. Commander Zhao Chun nodded and agreed with Charlotte's plan. However, there is a small problem. We only have enough T4 Huiguang-class interstellar jump ships to support the next phase of our plan for these 100,000 warship space jumps. This means that after deploying the warships to the Angel race, we will not have any T4 Huiguang-class jump ships left for a short time. Charlotte looked seriously at Commander Zhao Chun and explained that this situation involves some risk. Doing anything always involves risk, but some actions are necessary. Follow the plan you made and proceed accordingly, Zhao Chun said in a deep voice. Some actions require sacrifices. Charlotte and Lilith began executing the plan, assisted by the AI Dragon Girl on the Dragon Emperor. Soon, the 3 temporary mixed fleets were fully prepared. As the T4 Huiguang-class jump ships shone brightly, the Shadow Dragon warships disappeared without a trace. Originally, there were 100,000 warships in this starry sea, but now it was completely empty in an instant. A few stealth reconnaissance ships remained, quietly entering stealth mode to carry out their monitoring tasks. A burning star gate was very noticeable in the starry sky, like a torch in the darkness. Around the burning star gate, there were wrecks of interstellar warships. Compared to these wrecks close to the star gate, there were even more wrecks farther out. The differences were clear. One group was Shadow Dragon ships, and the other was Angel ships. Not far away, there is a black-colored angelic interstellar battleship hovering in the dark universe. The black paint on the angelic battleship is rare. Most are painted white. Several glowing rings appear in the nearby starry sky. One interstellar battleship after another arrives. All of them are from the Xianlong series, totaling 13,000 ships. Among them, 10,000 are combat ships, and the remaining 3,000 are support ships, including industrial and transport ships. The mixed Xianlong 3rd Legion, 1st Fleet, has completed the space jump. The Secretary reports to Commander Shinbing. Commander Shinbing is currently in charge of the mixed Xianlong 3rd Legion and mainly responsible for a mission assigned by the commander. Her task is to eliminate the Angel rebels attacking their Xianlong Stargate and find a way to repair or rebuild a Stargate as quickly as possible. This will restore the Angel race's connection to the Xianlong Galactic Star Group through the Stargate route. Although the King of Judgment Angels only destroyed one Stargate on the Angel side, there are still Stargates within the nearby mechanical territory. But there is some distance between them, and traveling takes time. Rebuilding this Stargate could save a lot of time. In this critical moment of war, time is very important. Therefore, Shinbing personally led 10,000 interstellar battleships on this mission, along with a batch of support ships. Report: enemy targets detected on the ship radar. They are confirmed to belong to the Judgment Angel King's Blade of Judgment Legion, with nearly 10,000 interstellar battleships. Her subordinate reports again. Shinbing's expression begins to change. She naturally knows what has happened within the Angel race. The Xianlong Stargate was destroyed, and the fleet guarding the Stargate fought to the death and was completely wiped out. The interstellar transport fleet under the North Wild Goose Group was attacked, and all crew members sacrificed. This is like a slap in the face to the Xianlong. Judgment Blade. Shinbing coldly recited the name. her gaze fixed on the data panel showing information about this judgment blade. It belongs to the king of the judging angels, under the command of 2 angelic guard corps, which are elite forces. However, because they mainly handle assassination, attack, intelligence, and territory management, their fleet size is small. They have only 10,000 interstellar warships, but their combat strength is not to be underestimated. This also shows how much the king of the judging angels values the Dragon Stargate. She wants to cut off the connection between the dragon and the angels to prevent the dragon from continuously sending fleets and strategic supplies through this star route. It is clear she had a plan from the start. "If you destroy my Stargate, I will wipe out your fleet today," Xin Bing ordered without hesitation, preparing her forces for battle. To regain the Stargate, whether by repair or rebuilding, they must first eliminate this Judgment Blade force. Otherwise, the enemy will not ignore them. This is why the Judgment Blade Corps remains here after destroying the Stargate. They are guarding against the dragon, relying on their strong industrial ability to rebuild a new Stargate. Building a Stargate is not something that can be done anywhere. Even though Dragon Stargates don't need to worry about double star systems, they still require a stable space area. Every location chosen for building a Stargate is carefully surveyed and explored. So, if they want to rebuild, doing so at the original site saves the most time. Meanwhile, the Judgment Blade Corps on the other side is also ready for battle. From the moment these Dragon starships appeared, they knew this fight was unavoidable. The front lines between the angels and demons span several star systems, with hundreds of battles of various sizes. Some are small skirmishes with only a few thousand starships. Some of the battles involved over 10,000 interstellar warships fighting in large-scale conflicts. It was clear that the demon race was taking the lead. They sent many of their interstellar warships to chase and block the angel race's ships. The angel ships tried to retreat and break through. Before this, the fleet commanders had received orders from the 2 kings of angels. The king of judgment angels and his allied fleet had all betrayed. Now, the Holy Angel King and the War Angel King's fleets were doing everything they could to retreat. But it wasn't easy for the angel ships to escape. The king of judgment angels had already arranged for some of his own fleets to betray their former allies and block the retreat of the angel ships, forming several encirclements with demon ships. Their goal was to eliminate as many of the angel fleet as possible. Currently, there are about 1.2 million angel ships trapped in our encirclement. The retreating angel ships are trying to save the surrounded fleet, a masked angel subordinate respectfully told the king of judgment angels. The king of judgment angels was dressed in black robes, with one of his wings also turned black. He looked very strange, black and white mixed, like a ghost wandering between darkness and light. They naturally want to rescue more ships. Most of the industrial facilities in the War Angel domain have been destroyed by us. It will take at least 3 or 5 years to repair them. During this time, their ship production will drop by at least 70%. That means the ships they have now are their last cards. Use one, lose one, the king of judgment angels said with a hint of mockery. If it weren't for that demon king pulling away too many demon legions, I could have taken all the angel ships here. At this moment, the equipment on the bridge experienced short circuits and screen glitches. What's going on? The king of the judgment angels looked at this scene with surprise. Sir, our communication network and starship systems have been hacked. Our fleet is now cut off from communication with the surrounding fleets, the subordinate reported. At the same time, outside the viewport, a nearby starship was suddenly bombarded with fierce attacks. Some of the strikes even hit the flagship, the Star Shield, where the Judgment Angel King was. Watching the flames erupt so close, the expression under her black veil was probably not good. Who is attacking us? The Judgment Angel King's voice was cold. Her fleet was positioned at the back of the battlefield, usually in a safe zone. They only moved forward for very special combat missions. Report, a group of starships suddenly appeared on our flank. They are suspected to be 2 types of stealth bombers from the Xiongling Legion, the T4 Shadow Demon and T3 Illusion Stinger. We also detected a T4 Banshee-class light stealth reconnaissance starship. It should be them attacking our communication network, the subordinate reported. Xiongling Legion? Why are they here? Aren't they supposed to be fighting the Demon Legion? The Judgment Angel King was surprised. She immediately ordered, "Contact the Demon King and ask what's going on over there." "Sir, our communication is blocked. We can't reach them," the subordinate replied. The Judgment Angel King paused, almost forgetting about this. The enemy is just a stealth bomber, not a big threat. Normal combat is enough. Don't forget, there are other legions and many demon fleets around us. As soon as they notice our movement, they will come to support us. At this moment, the Judgment Angel King was still very confident, believing everything was under her control. Unknowingly, a pair of large hands had already taken control of the battlefield. Time slowly passed. The starship stealth bombers of the Howling Dragon Legion did not attack the fleet of the King of the Judgment Angels head-on. Instead, they mainly engaged in a kind of entanglement. It seemed like they were coordinating with the accompanying T4 female demon-class light starship reconnaissance vessels to interfere with the communications of the Judgment Angel King's fleet. Although there was no significant damage, this feeling was very frustrating. Especially now, since the Judgment Angel King couldn't contact the outside world, he felt like his hands were tied, which made him very uneasy. What's going on? Why haven't the support fleets from the surrounding armies arrived yet? The Judgment Angel King asked with a frown. We're not sure either, his subordinates replied, looking confused. At that moment, a subordinate released a video feed. "Report, this is the Starship Reconnaissance device we sent out, using a deep space telescope to observe the surroundings. Several battlefields around have seen Howling Dragon starships appear. The Howling Dragon Legion is rescuing the Angel starships that were originally trapped, and it seems they are even preparing to counterattack." These blurry images transmitted back are some of the few pieces of external intelligence the Judgment Angel King could obtain. How many starships has the Howling Dragon Legion brought? If it's only a few tens of thousands, it's impossible for them to break through our attack. Darn it, what is going on with the Demon King's side? Why is there such a big problem at this moment? The normally calm Judgment Angel King was now visibly agitated, his anger evident in his voice. "We can't just wait here any longer. Get ready, find a direction. Break out at all costs and re-establish contact with the outside world," the Judgment Angel King ordered. Then, his direct fleet, the Judgment Legion, began to break through the entanglement of the Howling Dragon starships. Although they were at a disadvantage in fighting against the communication networks of those T4-level female demon-type light interstellar stealth reconnaissance ships, as long as they could create distance, they could re-establish contact with the outside world. The Judgment Legion was not large, with only 3,000 interstellar warships. However, all of them were T4-class ships, along with a few T5-class ships. They were considered a top elite fleet. But under the entanglement of those stealth bombing ships, they were caught up for several hours before finally breaking free. This allowed them to bypass the network blockade and learn about the outside situation. In just those few hours, the entire battle situation had changed dramatically. The Judgment Blade Legion, responsible for destroying the Xianlong Stargate, fought against an arriving Xianlong Legion. In the end, they were completely defeated. The last battlefield data showed that when both sides had an equal number of interstellar warships, the enemy only suffered about 40% casualties. The Dark Angel Legion's 9th and 10th fleets, totaling 6,000 interstellar warships, attacked the North Goose Group, a branch of the Xianlong Galaxy Group. They were attacked by an equally sized Xianlong Legion fleet, and after fighting, both Dark Angel fleets lost all their ships. At the same time, the Dark Angel Legion's fleets across various battlefield sectors were targeted by precise strikes from the Xianlong Legion. Out of 10 fleets, 4 had been completely destroyed, 3 were heavily damaged, and the remaining 3 were still fighting. It can be said they are in a countdown to death. Additionally, the Vengeance Angel, Wisdom Angel, and Holy Judgment Angel, under the command of the King of Judgment Angels, were also targeted by strong, focused attacks from the Xianlong Legion, with clear revenge motives. Upon hearing about this situation, the King of Judgment Angels immediately felt the pressure. Because among the 3 Angel Kings, she had the fewest military forces. The military forces within the Angel clan are divided into 4 parts, each led by one of the 3 Angel Kings. The Guardian Angel Corps, the Healing Angel Corps, and the Order Angel Corps are neutral fleets mainly responsible for local security and protection. Among the 3 Angel Kings, The War Angel King has the largest military force, commanding 8 angel fleets, with nearly 2 million starships at its peak. The Holy Angel King is next, with 6 fleets and about 800,000 starships during its strongest period. The Judgment Angel King has the fewest, also with 6 fleets, but fewer than 300,000 starships, as it mainly handles behind-the-scenes work and doesn't need many frontline forces. This might be why the Holy Angel King and War Angel King have always trusted the Judgment Angel King, not expecting this betrayal. Besides attacking the Judgment Angel King's fleets, the Shadow Dragon Legion has also launched some offensives against the demon armies and supports the besieged angel starships. In some battles, they even formed counter-surrounding tactics. For example, one of the biggest battles was turned around. The Ghoul Legion, with over 300,000 starships and the flagship of the highest commander, was surrounded by the Shadow Dragon Legion and the angel fleets, forming a counter-encirclement. In just a few hours, the rapid change in the situation surprised even the Judgment Angel King himself. "Darn it," he cursed, then said in a deep voice, "Contact the Demon Lord." Because of the Shadow Dragon Legion's involvement, the entire battle situation changed. The situation quickly worsened, and to regain control, outside forces needed to be brought in. Currently, the only available force to join was the Demon Army's fleets. With the interference from the troublesome T4 Yaoji light starship reconnaissance ships of the Xiongling Legion gone, we successfully made contact with the Demon King this time. What's the situation on your side? Why did the Xiongling Legion appear here? The King of the Judging Angels spoke in a somewhat harsh tone because the situation was out of control. There was a moment of silence from the other side. A cold voice responded, "Are you questioning me?" It was clear that the Demon King was also in a bad mood. As a careful thinker, the Judging Angel noticed this. She took a deep breath, adjusted her emotions, and tried to stay calm. Then she slowly said, "Right now, the Xiongling Legion is appearing in large numbers on our battlefield. My fleet and your Majesty's demon army are under great threat. For example, the Ghoul Legion is now surrounded by enemies, and the situation is very dangerous." Because of her change in tone, the Demon King did not pursue the earlier rudeness. He coldly said, "So these guys went to your side. I have already entered the mechanical god Sex galaxy, but since we arrived here, we haven't seen any trace of the Xiongling Legion fleet. We were still investigating earlier. It seems they used the T4 Huiguang starship to launch a surprise attack on your side. I didn't expect that guy would just give up this place. Now is not the time to think about that. We need to plan our next move. My situation is very tense, and I need new fleet forces to support us, or we will lose control here. Your Majesty, you should understand what I mean." The Judging Angel spoke in a serious tone. The Demon King slowly replied, "I understand. I will issue orders now to send several of my demon legions to your battlefield. It is expected that at least 500,000 to 800,000 demon starships will support you. However, there might be some delays, and it will take at least 48 hours. You need to hold on until our reinforcements arrive." 48 hours. Hearing this, the King of the Judgment Angels felt a heavy mood. If it were other angel armies, holding out for 48 hours wouldn't be difficult. But facing the Shadow Dragon Legion, a very aggressive military force, they can deploy in one day enough supplies for a month of fighting. They often start by raising the battle intensity to the maximum. In this situation, she couldn't even be sure what would happen after 48 hours. "I will do my best to arrange things on my side, but I hope your side can speed up the support so we can reduce our losses." The King of the Judgment Angels didn't insist, since they didn't have the special starship with the T4 Wisdom Light interstellar jump capability like the Shadow Dragon Legion. They could only rely on traditional long-distance travel through stargates to reach the battlefield. Understood. The Demon King didn't say much and simply ended the communication. The King of the Judgment Angels looked at the silent communication device. A cold aura lingered in her eyes behind her veil. Then, she began issuing new battle orders, also giving instructions to the demon legions. This was a right granted to her by the Demon King. Within 48 hours, she aimed to minimize her fleet's losses, hold on until reinforcements arrived, and then launch a counterattack. "Sir, I now need a clear understanding of your Angel Clan's resources. Otherwise, given the current situation, it will be very difficult for me to help you." Zhao Chen looked at the two angel kings. His attitude towards them was completely different from before. At the same time, their expressions showed that they understood this meeting was now led by Zhao Chen. Thinking back to previous meetings, first, Zhao Chen went to the Holy Angel King's Temple Mountain. Inside, only the Holy Angel King was waiting on his throne. The other two Angel Kings' holograms arrived late. Afterwards, Zhao Chen stood in the hall and negotiated with the three kings. Second, a meeting table was set up in the temple hall. The three kings arrived early, and Zhao Chen also had his place. Third, the Holy Angel King waited for Zhao Chen on the temple steps. The other two kings greeted and bowed to Zhao Chen with smiles. Later, the Holy Angel King personally saw Zhao Chen off the mountain, watching him board the shuttle and leave. From each meeting, it was clear that the status of both sides was changing. All of this happened in just over a year. The Holy Angel King and the War Angel King exchanged a glance. They had already discussed secretly before. They knew that dealing with a merchant-like lord like Zhao Chen would require paying a price. That price could be in goods or information. Compared to what they considered, the question Zhao Chen asked now was nothing. Currently, the angel armies controlled by the Holy and myself total 1 million starships. This does not include the 40,000 starships of the neutral angel fleet. Additionally, the trader from our judgment has nearly 30,000 starships. This is roughly the current military strength of our angel clan, answered the War Angel King. Can't you control this neutral part of the angel fleet? Zhao Chen asked. Although this neutral fleet is weaker in combat power compared to the 20 angel legions, it still has over 500,000 starships. That is not to be underestimated. The guarding angel legion can only negotiate on our side. Until the battle situation is clear, they won't choose a side. But if the demon fleet attacks our homeland now, they will fight back against the demon fleet. The Order Angel Legion is still responsible for overseeing and managing the angel territories. They won't interfere in the main battlefield. The Healing Angel Legion mainly handles logistics, healing, and transportation, so they won't affect the front lines, answered the King of the Holy Angels. This neutral angel fleet is mainly controlled by the major angel family clans. But we have 1 million starships. 500,000 of these are surrounded by demon fleets due to past betrayals, and their situation is dangerous. 300,000 are not surrounded and are floating around the battlefield, looking for rescue opportunities. The remaining 200,000 are our and the Holy Angel King's trump cards. Some of these have been recalled to the War Angel Star Domain. Although the chances are low, I still want to save some, said the War Angel King, his eyes full of hatred when mentioning his base being stolen by the judgment. Zhao Chen nodded and looked at Charlotte, signaling her to share her opinion. Charlotte sat upright and serious. We have brought 100,000 Xianlong starships into the angel battlefield. We want to help you, but we also need you to give us some access rights. During the war, all star gates, starports, and military fortresses within the angel territories must be unconditionally open to our Xianlong starships. When necessary, our Xianlong starships can have priority use. At the same time on the battlefield, our Xianlong Legion and Commander Zhao Chen have the same authority as the two angel kings. When necessary, we can directly command your angel army. To be honest, Charlotte's request was very strict. The King of War Angels frowned. Lilith interrupted and said, "These demands may be a bit harsh, but this is wartime. Everything must focus on winning the war. Also, because one of your angel kings betrayed us, our original plans were disrupted. Previously, we could have destroyed at least 500,000 demon starships on another battlefield. But due to your side's changing situation, we had to abandon the territory we had already taken. To prevent similar problems in future battles, our Xianlong must have more control. We can't let our fleet take risks or be betrayed by allies." Lilith's words were gentle but sharp. She paused and continued, "The angel race is our ally. We won't stand by and watch them face destruction. That's why we sent 100,000 elite ships to join the fight immediately. Currently, about 1/3 of the 500,000 starships that were trapped have escaped danger. We even encircled the Ghoul army and gained some advantage on the battlefield. You can see the efforts our Xianlong has made. If you want to save the angel race, which is now on the edge of a cliff, this is the only chance for the two angel kings." Lilith's words were a way of showing that Xianlong could bring benefits and be their savior. After her explanation, Zhao Qian knew it was time to express his stance. Zhao Qian looked at the two kings of angels. You have both seen our sincerity. Originally, the plan was for us to meet first and then support the battlefield. But we first provided support to the battlefield and then held this meeting, because I believe my two allies will make the right choice. Zhao Qian smiled as he looked at the two kings of angels opposite him. It seemed like they had a choice, but in fact, they had no real options. In the end, both kings of angels unconditionally agreed to Zhao Qian's demands. Afterward, Charlotte, representing the Lord of the Shadow Dragon, issued new combat orders to all the angel military fleets. These orders were also presented to the two kings of angels, especially the king of war angels, who, upon seeing these plans, immediately felt the madness of the Shadow Dragon Legion. But he still chose to carry them out, perhaps because he also had similar thoughts inside. Next, the cooperation between the Shadow Dragon Legion and the Angel Fleet made the Judgment Angel King realize how long the 48 hours waiting for reinforcements truly were. This was especially clear when half the time had passed. The Zombie Legion had lost nearly 80%, and when news arrived that the flagship of the Zombie Commander was destroyed by the Shadow Dragon's personal guard fleet, the Judgment Angel King understood how terrifying the Shadow Dragon Legion was. She even realized her own danger. Many Shadow Dragon fleets were deliberately or unintentionally approaching her location, the Blessing Judgment Army. Feeling the threat, the Judgment Angel King ordered her Blessing Judgment Army to retreat to a safe position. After that, all the fleets of the Dark Angel Legion were targeted by the Shadow Dragon fleet, with over 90% of their starships destroyed. The Dark Angel Legion was effectively gone. At the 30th hour, on the front battlefield, almost all of the surrounded Angel starships managed to escape and are now attacking the Demon starships in an organized way. After 40 hours, an even more shocking message arrived. The Demon Crocodile Legion fleet was surrounded by multiple Dragon Claw Legion fleets and Angel fleets, putting them in great danger. The Demon Crocodile Marshal sent out a distress signal. The King of Judgment Angels saw the message but did not send help. The fierce counterattack by the Dragon Claw Legion and Angel fleets made it impossible for her to assist. Even if she could send support, she worried it might be a trap set by the Dragon Claw Legion to lure her into a trap. In the end, she only responded with a comforting message, saying she would try to help and urging him to hold on. The support from the Demon King was on its way. However, words alone had no real effect. Just before the Demon King's reinforcements arrived, the strongest fleet of the Demon Crocodile Legion, led by the Marshal's flagship, was destroyed by the Dragon Claw's elite guard fleet. All 3,000 starships in the fleet were destroyed without exception, especially the Demon Crocodile Legion's flagship, which was hit by the legendary T5 Underworld King starship's main cannon, destroying most of its hull. In the end, the Demon Crocodile Legion suffered heavy losses and was effectively wiped out. In less than 48 hours, everything changed dramatically because of the involvement of the 100,000 starships of the Dragon Claw Legion. Report: the Dragon Claw Legion fleet and the Angel fleet are retreating on all fronts. During the retreat, they even abandoned some heavily damaged starships, and after the crew evacuated, they detonated these abandoned ships on the spot. The subordinate hurriedly reported to the King of Judgment Angels. The King of Judgment Angels clenched her fists and stared at the star map in front of her. What are our losses in the past 48 hours? The subordinate was silent for a moment. Answer me. My subordinate bowed his head and replied, in the past 48 hours, both our side and the demon race have suffered unprecedented losses. We have lost at least 150,000 interstellar warships. The Judgment Blade Legion has lost contact, and the Dark Angel Legion has also lost contact. The Revenge Angel Legion lost half of its warships. The Holy Judgment Legion lost over 40%. Our Gift of Judgment Legion lost 30%, and the Wisdom Angel Legion lost about 50,000 warships. 2 fleets have been destroyed. The total loss is nearly 150,000 warships. Even the confident King of Judgment Angels felt dizzy at the sight. He finally managed to steady his emotions. And the demon race? She asked again. The demon race's losses are even worse. The Corpse Eater Legion lost over 300,000 warships. The Crocodile Demon Legion lost more than 300,000, and other scattered demon legions lost around 200,000. In the past 48 hours, the total loss is nearly 800,000 warships. Including our losses, the total damage in these 48 hours exceeds 1 million warships. This is comparable to the total losses of our two races in half a year of previous battles. Among them, although the Xiongling Legion has only 100,000 ships, it achieved 70% of the victories. The larger number of Angel Fleet warships mostly played a supporting role, the subordinate said. Xiongling, Xiongling, Xiongling. He kept repeating the name. Suddenly a blood mist appeared on the black veil of the King of Judgment Angels. Sir. The subordinate looked at his Angel King in panic. I'm fine. The King of Judgment Angels sat down heavily on his command chair. He took a long time to calm his mind. How is the reinforcements from the Demon King's side? They have already crossed the nearest Stargate. The vanguard will arrive at the front line within half an hour. The adult asked, should we intercept the enemy? The King of the Judging Angels looked at the star map, where the markers representing the Owl Dragon Legion and the Angel Clan fleet were slowly retreating. At this moment, intercepting seemed like a good option. However, there was a big risk. No one knew if the Owl Dragon Legion and the Angel fleet had left any traps or backup plans. If they had, it would only increase their losses. The subordinate asked, how many demon legions and fleets are still available on the front lines? He replied, there are still the Balaam Legion, Amon Legion, and the Snake King Legion, with at least 600,000 starships. But because of the intense fighting recently, we can't be sure how much fighting power these demon starships still have. The King of the Judging Angels frowned and sighed. He asked, can we still repair our intelligence network inside the Angel Clan? No, it's impossible. Within the last 48 hours, the enemy has deployed many T-4 female demon-class light starship stealth reconnaissance ships inside the Angel Clan territory, almost destroying all our intelligence. The ones that weren't destroyed are now in silent mode and can't give us any useful information, the subordinate explained. It must be said that the Owl Dragon Legion did a lot in these 48 hours. Not only did they plan on the main battlefield, but they also cleaned up problems inside the Angel Clan. That Owl Dragon Lord is truly a terrifying man. Leave this problem to the Demon King. If his demon legions had more fighting strength, he wouldn't have been distracted from the main Owl Dragon fleet, and things wouldn't be like this, the Judging Angel King said with some frustration. In the end, the Demon King ordered some of his demon legions, which still had fighting ability, to try to delay the retreating Angel and Owl Dragon legions, hoping to buy time for reinforcements to arrive. The idea was good, but in reality, things didn't go as smoothly as planned. The demon fleets assigned to pursue and retreating Longwing and Angel armies were frightened by the combat tactics of the Longwing Legion during the past 48 hours of battle. Although they obediently followed the orders of the Demon King to pursue, they were always very cautious. If the pursued Longwing or Angel armies showed any sign of movement, they would stop chasing. It was like a few badly beaten dogs, still testing the waters on the verge of death. This way of fighting was very ineffective. By the time reinforcements arrived for the Demon King, the demon fleet responsible for the chase was almost at the front lines of the Angel territory. This created a new problem for the Demon King. Should they continue fighting, or should they give up? Right now, continuing the fight would turn into a tough siege. Many Angel and Longwing armies had already retreated into their defensive positions within their territory, giving them a strong defensive advantage. On the other hand, besides the reinforcements that had come from far away, the other demon armies were in poor condition and very low in morale. Should they fight or not? The Demon King sat silently on his throne. Your Majesty, our armies are willing to fight, but our fleet is in poor shape. Even if we win, our armies will suffer heavy losses, said the hologram of the Snake King Legion commander. Although he didn't say outright not to fight, his meaning was clear. The Longwing Legion is very cunning. We don't know how many tricks they still have up their sleeves. Continuing the fight now puts us at a disadvantage. It's better to rest and plan carefully, said the commander of the Furious Legion. I agree, said the commander of the Black Sky Legion. These two demon commanders, aside from the fallen king of the north, were the most trusted by the Demon King and commanded the most elite armies. During previous battles, They all experienced the powerful combat ability of the Shadow Dragon Legion. Everyone was very cautious. The Demon King took a deep breath and looked carefully at the several demon marshals present. Compared to earlier, there were only half as many. The remaining 6 demon legions, Red Demon Legion, Ghoul Legion, Crocodile Demon Legion, a Gallows Legion, Hell Baron Legion, and Northern King Legion, had suffered many casualties in this battle. If they continued fighting, even if they won, it would be a hard-fought victory. That was not what the Demon King wanted. Give the order to select suitable locations in these star systems to build frontline camps. Also, command the production bases to speed up manufacturing and strengthen our military supplies. I want more interstellar warships. Invest all our resources into building these ships to make up for the losses of our demon legions as much as possible. The Demon King ordered seriously. Yes, the demon marshals replied in unison. The holographic projections in front of the throne disappeared. The Demon King stood up silently and left the command bridge, heading straight to his captain's quarters. Inside, he saw a figure sitting on the sofa. "Your Majesty, you've arrived," a mechanical voice said. The Demon King looked at the person cloaked in black. "You're still alive? I heard you were captured by the Shadow Dragon Legion at the Holy Land of the Mechanical God Cult. Did the Shadow Dragon Lord release you?" The Demon King approached the person in the black cloak and examined him. "We are the will of a great being, part of this universe's consciousness. We are one, yet also many. That comrade sacrificed his body for the sacred ideals of the great being. His will has returned to the great being. I sincerely congratulate him," the cloaked figure said, crossing his arms over his chest. A trace of disdain flickered in the Demon King's eyes. "Humph, speak. What do you want to say to me after finding me?" the Demon King asked coldly. "The Emperor needs our help," the cloaked figure said. "Now you don't even have your sacred place anymore. What else can I ask for?" The Demon King snorted. "Do you think we only have this one base?" the cloaked figure replied. The cloaked figure's body began to float. The Demon King raised a hand, making a gesture as if grabbing the air, and a black aura surrounded him. "So you, or the organization behind you, have been lying to me all along?" he asked. Even though he felt he could die at any moment, the cloaked figure remained calm. "Your Majesty, we are partners. You have your secrets, and we have ours." With a flick of his hand, the cloaked figure was thrown out, crashing into the wall and creating a large hole. The figure fell heavily to the ground, and the cloak disappeared, revealing a body made of mechanical parts. Although all mechanical, many parts of the body were dented from the recent heavy hit. "Your Majesty, stay calm. If it were any other carbon-based life form, being thrown like that would have knocked them out for good," the robot in the cloak said as it shakily stood up again. "Tell me, how do you want to cooperate this time?" the Demon King asked coldly, staring at the robot. The robot's head twitched, showing some sparks and electrical currents. It seemed the heavy blow had caused significant damage. "We can provide 5 industrial construction bases for your Majesty. They are equipped with full automated mechanical production systems, classified as T5 level industrial bases. Just supply raw materials, and we can produce any type of advanced starship technology. With these 5 bases, your army can be built very quickly. After all, you are not short of raw materials," the robot said with a smile. The Demon King snorted coldly, knowing that the materials mentioned by the other person had a double meaning. "What do you want me to do?" "These industrial bases have a built-in timer in their operation system. You have 1 year of authority, but within that year, you must attack the Mechanical King's capital and destroy the largest building there. Otherwise, all 5 industrial bases will stop working," the black-robed robot explained its purpose. "Mechanical race? You want me to fight the mechanical race? You should know how strong they are. I am not their match right now, especially with that cursed dragon in front of me." The Demon King frowned. "Don't worry, the mechanical race is at its weakest right now," the black-robed robot said with a slight twitch of its mouth, as if trying to smile, but it looked very strange. "All right, I agree," the Demon King said. "Long live the Demon King. May your luck be prosperous." The black-robed robot raised its hand and opened 5-star maps with coordinates. Then, its body burst into black flames, leaving not a single trace behind. The Demon King looked at the spot where the black-robed robot had been and then at the 5-star maps. His eyes showed madness. "As long as I can conquer this universe, Even if I have to make a deal with the most evil beings, what does it matter? As long as the great existence arrives in this universe, do these things still matter? The man in the black robe said, yes, if not for that purpose. I now want to give up this dirty body and merge with the great being. The king of the judgment angels said, touching his face beneath the black veil with a somewhat sickly expression. What should I do next? The king of the judgment angels asked. Continue assisting the demon king. Destroy the mechanical race. I didn't expect that guy's will to be so strong, and that he even formed a partnership with some dragon. He keeps ruining our plans again and again. But this time, no accidents are allowed. We've waited too long. Our 100 years of preparation are all for this moment. The arrival of the great being must not be disrupted. The man in the black robe, who had previously spoken emotionlessly, suddenly sounded frenzied. I understand. The king of the judgment angels nodded. To see the great being again, I am willing to sacrifice everything in this universe. Mission details: kill 6 demon generals of the demon race and destroy their commanded demon army. Mission reward: annual big gift pack. The shorter the completion time, the higher the reward. Mission progress: 1. Red Demon General and Red Demon Army destroyed. 2. Northern King General and Northern King Army destroyed. 3. Hell Baron General and Hell Baron Army destroyed. 4. A Gallows General and a Gallows Army destroyed. 5. Ghoul General and Ghoul Army destroyed. 6. Magic Crocodile General and Magic Crocodile Army destroyed. The mission is complete. Time taken: 11 months, 27 days, 3 hours, 27. 3. Hell Baron General and Hell Baron Army destroyed. 4. A Gallows General and a Gallows Army destroyed. 5. Ghoul General and Ghoul Army destroyed. 6. Magic Crocodile General and Magic Crocodile Army destroyed. The mission is complete. Time taken: 11 months, 20. Revenge was one reason, but Zhao Chen also didn't forget to complete his yearly task. He specifically selected the Zombie Army and the Magic Crocodile Army, which had been fighting for a long time and were in poor condition with many losses. As expected, with the help of the Angel Fleet, he easily defeated them all. This revenge was one reason, but Zhao Chen also didn't forget to complete his yearly task. He specifically selected the Zombie Army and the Magic Crocodile Army, which had been fighting for a long time and were in poor condition with many losses. As expected, with the help, they were blurry, but he could roughly guess their types based on their shapes, such as missile ships, cannon ships, battleships, and so on. Some of the ships had very unique shapes, making it hard for Zhao Chen to identify their types. At this moment, a pop-up message appeared in front of him. Would you like to draw a T6 flagship starship blueprint? Yes or no? This made Zhao Chen think of the King of Darkness and the Dragon Emperor ships. It seemed these starships could only build one of each, just like those 2 ships. But this was a T6 level. That was a big deal. It meant Zhao Chen now had a starship of a level no other civilization in this universe had ever owned. Just think. A T5 King of Darkness could wipe out an entire fleet of enemies without a scratch. So what about a T6 starship? Thinking of this, Zhao Chen felt excited. He started to consider which combat starship was the best. As Zhao Chen began the draw, the 10 starship shadows started to spin in place, one after another. The first one to disappear was the cannon ship. Zhao Chen actually wanted this one. The second was the missile ship. This might not be necessary. Even if it were built, with Zhao Chen's current small size, he would be drained after just one round. Next, the interstellar battleship, destroyer, cruiser, battlecruiser, and escort ship all disappeared one after another. This made Zhao Chen's smile start to stiffen. What is going on? It seems that the remaining 3 types of interstellar battleships are not really combat ships anymore. Could they be creating a T6 level support type interstellar battleship for himself? Finally, 2 of the 3 remaining shadows disappeared, leaving only one. The last shadow of the starship gradually became clearer. In the end, a very unique-looking interstellar battleship appeared before Zhao Chen. It looked more like a flying building than a typical starship. Or, more like a door? Soon, the data about this starship appeared in Zhao Chen's mind. Wow, it really is a door. Zhao Chen instinctively muttered. Congratulations on obtaining the design blueprints for the T6 South Heaven Gate starship and the South Heaven Gate core module. South Heaven Gate starship type, Flagship technology level. T6 hull armor strength. 5 million to 5.1 million units star shield energy. 300 million units cruising speed. 3000 star speed warp drive. Level 9 warp engine length. 36.8 kilometers mass. 68.88 million tons crew. 50,000 starship weapons. None special features. Special equipment space leap engine. Can perform space jumps. South Heaven Gate strategic mode this starship. No, this door really doesn't look like a typical starship. It has no weapons modules on it, not even defensive weapons. But its value is extremely important. To briefly explain its function, it can directly create a two-way stargate within a certain range and can remain active unless the South Skygate starship is destroyed. It's a simple function, but in actual combat, its value can be extremely terrifying because it doesn't need beacons or any preparation, just input a coordinate location. This is basically a super-modified version of the T4 Wisdom Light class interstellar jump ship. This means that as long as the Dragon Legion needs it, Zhao Chun can connect any two places freely. For example, connecting the frontline battlefield with the Dragon Legion base allows the starships produced to be sent directly to the front lines. This greatly increases the mobility and combatability of the Legion's fleet. The only downside is that after the South Skygate starship is shut down, it takes a week to restart, and the cost is shockingly high. A single ship costs up to 500 trillion star coins. When Zhao Chun saw this construction cost, his heart skipped a beat. During the peak of the Star Glory Empire, the annual output was only 20 trillion star coins. This means that, without eating or drinking, the entire population of the Star Glory Empire would need 25 years to gather enough resources to build this ship. Even now, Zhao Chun has resources equivalent to 3 empires, and they are still increasing. But a cost of 500 trillion star coins is still an astronomical number. In peacetime, Zhao Chun could afford to build it slowly. But at this critical moment, how could he invest such a huge amount of resources to build a T6 starship? Another issue is the construction time. If a single T5 Galaxy-class large industrial base were responsible, it would take at least 10 years. Zhao Chun sighed deeply and looked again at the virtual image of the South Skygate starship. It looked like an unreachable, beautiful mountain maiden. Let's wait a bit longer. One day, I will own your ship. Zhao Chun was very clear about the strategic value of the Nantiangmen ship. If circumstances allowed, he would definitely build one. He put aside this small feeling of disappointment. Zhao Chun looked at another blinking cursor. Quarterly task completed. Please claim your quarterly reward. This was the last quarterly task of the year. Because the task was simple, Zhao Chun didn't pay much attention to it at first. Task: destroy 1 million demon starships. This quarterly task was basically a supporting task for the annual mission. As long as the annual mission was completed, this quarterly task would definitely be done. So, Zhao Chun didn't worry about it. Now was the perfect time to claim the quarterly reward. Zhao Chun thought to himself, "Congratulations. You received 3,000 mission points and the blueprint for AT-5 Arc-class heavy starship supply ship." Getting AT-5 auxiliary starship was not a combat ship, but it was exactly what Zhao Chun needed right now. In this battle, the Xiongling Legion was able to achieve such brilliant results partly because of their brave fighting. Another reason was their solid logistics team, especially the various auxiliary starships that played a big role. These supply ships were even more important on the battlefield. They allowed starships to quickly recover and get back into combat. Someone had calculated that the Angel, Demon, and Xiongling Legion's active starships on the battlefield had higher operational efficiency than the combined total of the first two groups. It was no wonder that the Xiongling Legion kept winning with fewer ships. Zhao Chun scrolled down the list of quarterly tasks and looked at another task box. Task: Secrets of the Mechanical Race. First stage task: explore the coordinates of the Mechanical Prophet. Completed. Second phase task: launch an attack against the Mechanical Prophet, destroying at least 300,000 starships of the fleet. Third phase task: prevent the demon race from invading the mechanical race. When Zhao Chun saw this task, he frowned slightly. Actually, he couldn't understand this task himself. The demon race invading the mechanical race? That seems impossible. You should know that, before this, the mechanical race played the role of a big boss in this universe. balancing the interstellar civilizations with their strength. Even now, with the demon race's increased power, they don't have the strength to declare war on the mechanical race, especially while fighting against the angel race and their own dragon. Did the Demon King get hit by a starship? But the appearance of the system task definitely has a reason. If it appears, it must have a purpose. So, does that mean the demon race has the power to threaten the mechanical race? Zhao Chen wondered. This possibility is very low. Even if the demon race took a perfect tonic, they couldn't become strong enough in such a short time to invade the mechanical race. There is only one other possibility. Either the demon race becomes stronger, or the mechanical race weakens. It seems I need to talk to that girl again, Zhao Chen thought, raising his hand to send a communication request using his handheld terminal. This was a secret communication channel he had established with that girl. She had said that as long as Zhao Chen was willing, he could contact her anywhere in this universe. Before, the calls were almost instant. But this time, there was no response, as if the message had sunk into the ocean, with no reply. Zhao Chen sensed something unusual. When something is wrong, there must be a reason. If he can't reach the girl, he can only try to contact the high-level leaders of the mechanical race, but that will take some time. For now, Zhao Chen decided to put this plan aside. He continued to enjoy the massage, then opened the system page in his mind. Host, Zhao Chen profession, top starship engineer special attributes, fleet luck bonus, insight I system points, 560 million, monthly fleet income, 20.13 million points, mission points, 3,150 number of starships, over 500,000 mission, the secrets of the mechanical race, stage 3 warehouse, T5R class heavy interstellar supply ship blueprints, T6 South Heaven Gate starship blueprints after 3 months of accumulation and earning mission points this time. Zhao Chen's wealth increased. Again, he can further expand his collection of T5 series starships. Zhao Chen opened the system shop and looked directly at the T5 series interstellar warships. He chose a support-type starship to exchange. Would you like to spend 60 million system points and 500 mission points to exchange for the T5 Starry Heavy Interstellar Industrial Ship blueprints? Spending 60 million system points and 500 mission points. Congratulations on obtaining the blueprints for the T5 Starry Heavy Interstellar Industrial Ship. Remaining system points. 500 million remaining mission points. 2,650. Zhao Chen looked at the interstellar industrial ship in front of him and was very satisfied. In theory, Zhao Chen already has a T5 Galaxy-class large industrial base. Why does he still need a starship industrial ship? This is because of the flaw of the T5 Galaxy industrial base. It cannot move. Currently, the industrial construction within and outside the Xianglong Legion relies on the T4 Twin-Star Heavy Interstellar Industrial Ship. Now that he has the T5 Starry Heavy Interstellar Industrial Ship, it forms a matching size with the T5 Galaxy-class large industrial base, completing Zhao Chen's industrial foundation. After exchanging for the T5 Starry Heavy Interstellar Industrial Ship, Zhao Chen continued to search for his next target. Would you like to exchange 100 million system points and 800 mission points for the technical blueprint of the T5 Phantom-class light interstellar stealth reconnaissance ship? Congratulations! You have received the technical blueprint of the T5 Phantom-class light interstellar stealth reconnaissance ship after spending 100 million system points and 800 mission points. Current remaining system points, 400 million. Current remaining mission points, 1,850. In the battlefield, information is very important, especially when it can interfere with enemy communications and intelligence. In this battle, Zhao Chen gained a big advantage using the T4 Banshee-class light interstellar stealth reconnaissance ship. The advantage was so clear that it was almost like opening a map. Earlier, during the conflict with the mechanical god cult, the T4 Banshee-class ship's network infiltration caused the cult's star map coordinates to shift, making their fleet leave the mechanical god cult's galaxy and fall into an attack by the mechanical race fleet. All of this was made possible with the help of the T4 Banshee-class ship. Later, on the front lines against the angel and demon races, the T4 Banshee-class ship disrupted the communication of the Judging Angel King's army. This caused the Judging Angel King to lose contact with the outside world and become isolated in space. This also indirectly affected the course of the war. These seemingly small support ships can sometimes be the key to victory on the battlefield. Therefore, Zhao Qin never underestimates any type of interstellar warship. As the Xionglong Legion develops, he tries to make sure all types of ships appear in the Legion and have their roles. The T5 Phantom-class light interstellar stealth reconnaissance ship, as its complicated name suggests, is not just a stealth ship. It also has functions like battlefield anti-stealth, communication, and interference. The main focus is on a disgusting tactic. Spend 150 million system points and 1,000 mission points to exchange for the technical blueprint of the T5 Ghost Wolf King-class medium interstellar stealth bomber. Spend 150 million system points and 1,000 mission points. Congratulations on obtaining the blueprint for the T5 Ghost Wolf King-class medium interstellar stealth bomber. Current system points remaining. 250 million current mission points remaining. 850. Buying a stealth bomber has always been something Zhao Qin's sister, Zhao Wan'er, often complained about to him. Since the Xionglong Legion started to acquire many T5 ships, every time Zhao Wan'er saw Zhao Qin, she would bring up the T5 stealth bomber, which annoyed him. Big brother, we now have 10 T5 interstellar warships. When will we get a T5 class interstellar stealth bomber? Wow, look at that T5 Sin of Evil class heavy interstellar cannon ship. It's so impressive. I wonder when I can use a T5 stealth bomber. Big brother, look at this ham. Doesn't it look like a T5 interstellar stealth bomber? Big brother, I want a tattoo. How about I get a T5 stealth bomber tattooed on my arm? Thinking about these things, Zhao Qin couldn't help but smile. Now, the Xionglong Legion's T5 series is mostly complete. It's time to add the stealth bomber to the fleet. Actually, Zhao Qin could have chosen a cheaper T5 stealth bomber before, but he considered that what he assigned to the Xionglong Legion must be the most suitable. And only the T5 Ghost Wolf King is the best fit. For interstellar stealth bombers, stealth technology is the top priority. Based on Zhao Qin's current understanding of the universe's anti-stealth tech, besides the T5 Ghost, no other anti-stealth technology can detect a fully hidden T5 Ghost Wolf King-class medium interstellar stealth bomber. The most important point is that the T5 Shadow Wolf King, a medium-sized interstellar stealth bomber, has a technological breakthrough that other stealth bombers do not have. Previously, the T4 Shadow Demon and T3 Illusion Stinger, which the Dragonfly served on, shared a common feature. They would reveal their hidden state when attacking. However, the T5 Shadow Wolf King broke through this technical barrier. It can remain truly hidden even during attack, never revealing itself. Even when launching interstellar torpedoes or missiles, it uses the most covert methods. The enemy ships can only detect it after some missiles are launched, by tracking their flight paths. Notably, the T5 Shadow Wolf King not only uses stealth technology on its own hull, but also applies it to some weapons, like the interstellar torpedoes. About 90% of its weapons are interstellar torpedoes, all equipped with T4 level stealth technology. From launch to impact, they stay hidden. This greatly reduces the chance of interception, turning this stealth bomber into a hidden assassin lurking in the darkness. Perhaps because of the improved stealth technology, the T5 Shadow Wolf King uses a conventional hull design, similar to medium-sized interstellar warships, unlike the previous two models. This means it has a much larger ammunition capacity, boosting its attack power. Now, that girl probably won't complain in front of me anymore, Zhao Qin thought, recalling his sister's resentful expression. He believed this T5 interstellar warship could shut her up and stop her little glares. Zhao Qin glanced at his account balance. It seemed he couldn't afford anything too expensive anymore. Fortunately, after calculating, he realized he could still acquire 2 starships he had planned to get. Does it cost 70 million system points and 550 mission points to exchange for the T5 Star Kuan-class Super Heavy Interstellar Transport Ship technical blueprint? Does it cost 50 million system points and 200 mission points to exchange for the T5 Hellhound class Heavy Medium Light Multi-Purpose Interstellar Combat Mech technical blueprint? Spending 70 million system points and 550 mission points. Congratulations on obtaining the T5 Star Kuan-class Super Heavy Interstellar Transport Ship technical blueprint. Spending 50 million system points and 200 mission points. Congratulations on obtaining the T5 Hellhound class Heavy Medium Light Multi-Purpose Interstellar Combat Mech Technical Blueprint. Current remaining system points, 130 million. Current remaining mission points, 100. The T5 Star Kuan class Super Heavy Interstellar Transport Ship and the T5 Hellhound class Interstellar Combat Mech. Zhao Chen's purpose in exchanging these two T5 technologies is very clear. It is to improve current transportation capacity. As the influence of the Xiaolong Galactic Star Group expands and involves the Angel Clan, transportation ability naturally needs to be further enhanced. The T5 Star Kuan class Super Heavy Interstellar Transport Ship just fills this gap. It is important to note that its ship class is not common heavy, but super heavy. Based on the data Zhao Chun has gathered, this interstellar transport ship will be the largest in known universe. It even surpasses the current largest ship, the T5 Pluto-class star frigate, which is over 100 kilometers long. It can be called a giant. The other technology, the T5 Hellhound-class interstellar combat mech, as the name suggests, is also meant to complete the T5 series of technological weapons. From its full name, T5 Hellhound class, heavy, medium, light, multi-purpose interstellar combat mech, it is quite special. Although it is just a mecha technology, the actual constructed models can include more than 10 types of three-headed dog combat mechs. One of its key features is the ability to equip different tactical sets, giving each combat mech different abilities. The models are divided into three categories: heavy, medium, and light. They can be built according to needs, and then different tactical sets can be assembled on these three types. For example, there are models like the T5 Heavy Armored Three-Headed Dog, the T5 Assassin Light model, the T5 Standard Medium model, and the T5 Fire Support Medium model, among others. This allows for customized construction based on specific requirements. That is also why Zhao Chen chose to exchange for this technology. Almost out of task points, I can't exchange anymore, Zhao Chen said, putting aside his thoughts about spending. Looking at the many technologies he gained this time: T5 Ghost-class light interstellar stealth recon ship, T5 Star-class heavy interstellar industrial ship, T5 Arc-class heavy interstellar supply ship, T5 Kuan-class super heavy interstellar transport ship, T5 Hellhound-class interstellar combat mech, T5 Shadow Wolf King-class medium interstellar stealth bomber, and the annual mission reward, the T6 South Skygate starship, which cannot be built in the short term. Don't just give me a massage while using your tail to tickle my feet, Zhao Chen suddenly said. At that moment, a playful voice came from behind. When did you realize I came in? From the moment you opened the door. With Zhao Chen's current senses, no one could hide from him. Lilith pouted, put away her tail, and obediently stood to the side. Our commander really knows how to enjoy himself. While everyone is doing a post-battle review, you're already here enjoying a massage. Lilith teased with a hint of sarcasm. It feels a bit like a petty wife. Come on, the person giving me a massage is a robot. Are you jealous about that? Zhao Chun said with a smile. A robot? 1.75 meters tall, with fair skin, perfect proportions, and dressed as a bunny girl? Lilith snorted coldly, giving the impression that she had already seen through him. Zhao Chen glanced at the massage robot nearby, and it seemed a bit hard to explain. Ahem. I didn't expect the massage robot to be like this. It's all Annie's fault. How could she make something like this? Next time, I will seriously criticize her and deduct her 3 days' pay. Zhao Chen sat upright. Lilith didn't tease Zhao Chen anymore. She raised her hand, and several electronic screens appeared in front of her. The demon fleet is currently stopped outside the Angel's new defense line and has begun building a forward base. Most likely, there won't be any war for a short time. This period could be 2 or 3 months, or even years. No one knows, Lilith analyzed objectively. Usually, Lilith's analysis was correct. The conflict between the angels and demons was like this. Although they had a 1,000-year history of war, most of the time they were just facing each other. Actual fighting only happened about 10% of the time. They would fight, then rest for a few years, and then, due to border disputes, fight again. Sometimes the angels had the advantage, sometimes the demons did. It was always a mix of wins and losses. But Zhao Chen knew that the next war wouldn't be far away because of the system mission. Don't let your guard down. Send more stealth reconnaissance ships to monitor the demons. Any movement must be reported immediately, Zhao Chen warned seriously. Thinking about the system mission, mentioning that the demons might invade the mechanical race, he couldn't rule out the possibility that the demons could quickly increase their military strength in a short time. Lilith recorded the commander's words and then said, "After the battle, our statistics show that we lost 10 Shadow Dragon Corps, 2 special fleets, and the Shadow Dragon Guard fleet. Originally, we had over 310,000 interstellar warships. Due to this battle, so far, the total loss rate has reached 60%, meaning nearly 180,000 ships were lost. About 1/5 of these were heavily damaged, beyond repair, and had to be either abandoned on the battlefield for destruction or sent back by logistics ships to be broken down into raw materials. Suddenly, 180,000 interstellar ships were lost. Hearing this number, Zhao Chun felt a jolt in his heart. How many star coins would that be? Over 300 million crew members sacrificed. The reborn are now receiving all life signals. But because there are so many, it will take at least 3 months to complete the restart process and recover them to fighting condition. Fortunately, our Shadow Dragon recruits can make up for this. There won't be a shortage of soldiers, Lilith said. Remember, the recovery of the reborn must be thorough. For those crew members not fit to serve again, we need to comfort their emotions and arrange their retirement work. They are all our heroes, and I don't want them to ruin their lives because of this, Zhao Chun said seriously. Rest assured, we have everything well planned, including special funds for this purpose. Even the first 5 habitable planets we are transforming will be used as recovery planets for these crew members, where they can get the best care. For those with psychological issues who cannot return to service, we will also provide psychological counseling and help them settle into new lives, Lilith replied. Zhao Chun nodded with satisfaction. Additionally, because of this battle, we have spent a total of over 30 trillion star coins on battlefield supplies. If it weren't for the raw materials obtained from previous military orders and some extra preparations of war supplies, our logistics would have been severely lacking during this campaign, Lilith reminded. Zhao Chun sighed deeply. It was never enough, never enough. This has always been the weakness of the Shadow Dragon Legion. But there's nothing to do about it. After all, this is just the Legion's fighting style. However, the results of this battle are very impressive. We directly destroyed over 2 million starships belonging to the mechanical and demon races. Additionally, more than 200,000 starships belong to the King of the Judgment Angels. Although we didn't manage to eliminate the Judgment Angel King herself, we caused significant damage to her military forces. It was like a 20-to-1 loss ratio for us, Lilith said proudly. Zhao Chun nodded. That is a great achievement. Since the demon race is unlikely to launch a large-scale invasion in the near future, we can arrange for part of the Shadow Dragon Legion to return to the Shadow Dragon star system for rest and recovery, and hold a celebration. Balancing work and rest is very important. Everyone has been under a lot of pressure lately and needs some time to relax. By the way, what's the status of the Stargate we destroyed earlier, located within the Angel Race territory? When can it be repaired? Zhao Chun asked. That Stargate is crucial for the connection between the Shadow Dragon side and the Angel Race. Since we recaptured that Stargate, we've been working overtime on repairs. According to our initial survey, although many core modules of the Stargate were destroyed, the external framework can still be used after some repairs. So, we just need to replace the core parts of those main modules, and we can keep using them. In about 3 or 5 days, we should be able to resume navigation, Lilith said. This is definitely very good news. We need to strengthen our communication with the Angel Race. I suggest we build more Stargates in the future, not only in that area, but also in various territories controlled by the Angel Race, such as on the frontline battlefield. Then our interstellar ships can directly send supplies to the front lines, Zhao Chun said. Will the 2 Angel Kings agree? Lilith asked with concern. Building 1 Stargate was fine, but now they want to build more? Zhao Chun's lips slightly curved, and he said, they might not have agreed before, but now they have a choice. Hearing the commander's question, Lilith fell silent. Indeed, the Angel Race is no longer what it used to be. A few days from now is the end of the year. We should review our current production capacity and industrial situation, then plan for the next year's development. This coming year will be very important for us, for the Angel Race, and for the universe, Zhao Chun said with deep eyes, as if he could see the future of the universe. Lilith nodded. I will complete the statistics as soon as possible. After that, the two discussed some other matters. Commander, you should rest now. I will take my leave, Lilith said, turning to leave. But in the next second, Zhao Chun pulled her onto the bed. Commander, you. Lilith looked at the commander lying on top of her, her cheeks slightly red. It's rare to have a visit, so I want to give you a massage. You've worked hard lately, so consider this a special reward from the commander, Zhao Chun said, looking down at Lilith lying on the massage bed. As a succubus, she should be bold, after all. At this point, Lily was always shy and unable to relax at first. Only after things got better did she start to let go. Lily wanted to refuse, but since the commander had already found her weakness, she quickly lost the strength to speak and gave up. A few minutes later, catching her breath, Lily looked at the mechanical maid standing nearby. She couldn't help but say, "Let it be turned off." Standing there, it feels like someone is watching. Zhao Chun turned his head to look at the mechanical maid. Because it was made very human-like, it really gave that impression. "Power it down," Zhao Chun ordered directly. The mechanical maid paused, then slowly collapsed. A drawer-like compartment appeared under the bed. The maid lay flat on it, her eyes dim, as if turned off, then was pulled into the bed. Lily was silent. Zhao Chun said, "What kind of weird design is this?" "Cut Annie's salary." In the T5 Diamond Eden class starship, Area 1, under a bright full moon and countless stars, a gentle evening breeze made people feel relaxed and happy. The natural hot springs warmed the body, making it seem like all stress could be released. So comfortable, the three women murmured in unison. They wore swimsuits and lay in the hot spring, with only their heads resting on the edge. Shui Xiao Xiao, Zhao Wanner, and Annie closed their eyes, enjoying the soothing sensation. Meanwhile, in a pavilion on the other side, Charlotte, Qi Tong, Bai Shui, Medusa, and Pei Shengnan were drinking alcohol. At first, everyone was quietly sipping their drinks. But soon, someone shouted, and the drinking turned into a contest. "You humans can't drink well. Watch me finish a whole bottle in one go." Snake Girl Qing Man blushed and shook the empty bottle in her hand. Wei Shishir, who comes from a royal guard background, naturally has her own pride. She picked up a nearby wine jar and drank it all in one gulp, then looked provocatively at the other person, as if saying, "Is that all you've got?" Soon, both of them were tipsy. Burp. "Who do you think can't handle it? I just got started." Wei Shishir swayed and pointed at the Snake Girl Qing Man. The Snake Girl Qing Man squinted her eyes. I just started too. TCH, what kind of drinks are you guys having? If you want to drink, drink together. The Wolf Girl by Shui was even more fierce. She somehow found a tall wine barrel and poured all kinds of alcohol into it. Then, the Wolf Girl by Shui suddenly jumped into the barrel. The Shy Wolf Girl by Yu came over and carefully took out her sister, by Shui, who was already asleep and completely red in the face. Sorry, my sister can't handle any alcohol. You guys keep drinking." Bai Yu apologized repeatedly, then took her sister away. Qing Man and Wei Shishir continued their drinking contest. Qing Man, burp, dare you, drink my wine. In this universe, there's nothing I, Miss Qing Man, wouldn't dare to drink. What kind of wine? Today is New Year's Eve. Zhao Chun gathered all the senior leaders of the Xiaolong team here to rest for a while. Probably, after this rest, there won't be many chances to relax next year. Seeing everyone's relaxed and happy faces, Zhao Chun felt warm inside. This is exactly the life he has always wanted. At this moment, two figures, one tall and one short, suddenly appeared and rushed to the hot spring. Spider Queen Iris used her front limbs to lift Annie, who was happily soaking in the hot spring. Huh, why am I floating? Annie felt cold after leaving the hot spring and shivered as she opened her eyes. She saw her younger sister Nana in front of her. Didn't you say you want to get some data? How did you end up in the hot spring? Nana crossed her arms, looking suspicious. Annie felt a bit guilty. She mumbled, I slipped and fell in. Yes, that's it, she added. Nana pointed at Annie's swimsuit. Oh, did you slip so hard that your swimsuit came off? At this moment, Spider Queen Iris also dropped Annie onto the shore. Nana didn't hold back and grabbed Annie's collar, walking out of the courtyard. Remember we agreed to finalize the construction plans for those new starships before resting? Nana said firmly. Annie looked very disappointed as she was dragged away. Passing by Zhao Chun, Annie looked at him with a sad expression. The reason her workload increased this year was mainly because the commanders suddenly provided technical data for several T5-class starships. This caused her to work overtime at the end of the year. She felt a bit sore as her bottom hit the doorframe during the pull. Seeing this, Nana ordered Spider Queen Iris to lift Annie so she was suspended in the air. Then, the three of them went upstairs. On the second floor of this small vacation house, Nana and Spider Queen Iris had set up a special room for their work. Through the window leading to the corridor, Zhao Chen saw Annie being taken back to that room. Our three chief engineers are quite hardworking, Zhao Chen praised. Lilith couldn't help but smile. Then she and Zhao Chen sat down in an empty spot. I've already calculated our current data. Right now, excluding military procurement, our production capacity within the Dragon and the three empires totals about 10 trillion star coins per month. This does not include the portions reserved for civilian life and basic military needs by the three major empires. 10 trillion star coins per month is a very impressive number. After all, during the peak of the Angel race, their monthly income was only about 20 trillion star coins. But the difference is, the 10 trillion star coins from the Dragon can all be used to expand its industry and military strength. There's no need to worry about civilian needs. That's the advantage of the Dragon system. 10 trillion star coins a month. How many interstellar warships can we produce with that? Zhao Chen started planning his expansion. Lilith quickly provided a set of numbers. If we don't consider the capacity of the starship factories, based on our latest Dragon Legion framework of 30,000 ships, the cost to purchase one Dragon Legion is about 40 trillion star coins. Zhao Chen rubbed his chin. So, relying only on our current output, it would take us about 4 months to barely build one Dragon Legion. And since we will continue producing some auxiliary and industrial interstellar ships or structures, it might take even longer. Lilith paused, then continued. Fortunately, we've established a long-term military procurement trade with the Angel race. On average, we complete military orders worth 40 trillion star coins each month. Plus, with the 2 large previous orders, we have quite a bit of surplus. Currently, there's no problem meeting our goal of expanding the interstellar fleet. The military purchase orders amount to 40 trillion star coins in just 1 month, not including some temporary orders. It's hard to say whether the arms trade is really profitable or if the Angel clan is just very powerful. Suppose I want to double our current military size. How long would that take? Zhao Chen asked. Double? Lilith frowned slightly. At this moment, Charlotte's voice came from nearby. Are you thinking of expanding each fleet within the 10 Falcon Dragon Legions? You don't seem to agree? Zhao Chen noticed Charlotte's meaning. Charlotte admitted, I've calculated that, based on our current fighting style, the limit for a single Falcon Dragon Legion with 30,000 starships has been reached. Unless our situation changes in the future, I suggest we keep each legion at 30,000 starships. Charlotte's point makes sense. Sometimes, having more starships in a fleet doesn't necessarily make it stronger. Overly large fleets can become unwieldy. Having 35,000 starships isn't as effective on the battlefield as 30,000 well-organized ships. Zhao Chen shared his own idea. Actually, I considered this too. The next step is to expand the Falcon Dragon Legions. We could grow from 10 to 20, or even 30 legions. He wants each Falcon Dragon Legion to have 1 million starships. In this universe, besides the mysterious mechanical race, Zhao Chen has fought against several other major star powers and has a good understanding of their strength. As long as the Falcon Dragon Legions reach 1 million starships, no one in this universe, except the mechanical race, can threaten them. Regarding Zhao Chen's idea to greatly expand the army, Charlotte and Lilith had already guessed it. Based on our current situation, without engaging in battles, we can guarantee to build 1 new fleet every 2 months. Lilith provided a number. But she also raised a question. Interstellar warships are just a matter of construction time, and manpower isn't a problem. However, for high-ranking officers, especially the commanders of the newly formed fleets, that's a big issue. Hearing this, Zhao Chen looked at Charlotte. In military appointments, Zhao Chen always assigned Charlotte to oversee the process. The final decisions would be summarized into a report for Zhao Chen. Charlotte raised her hand and showed 2 data sheets. One was labeled 3rd Generation Xianglong Officer Training, and the other 4th Generation Xianglong Officer Training. In the third-generation training list, most of the officers already held important military positions, making it hard to change their roles. The remaining few who could be reassigned had their names highlighted, such as Zhao Riyue, Leona, Medir, Huang Xiaoting, and Zhong Xiaxia. In the fourth-generation training list, some names had already made achievements in previous battles. For example, the captain of the T-5 Crimson Reaper-class heavy starship missile cruiser, Wolf Girl by Shui's sister, Wolf Girl by Yu. However, most of the others still lacked significant accomplishments and needed more practical combat experience. In the short term, expanding the Xianglong fleets shouldn't be a big problem. For example, Zhao Riyue and Leona both have many years of combat experience and the ability to command large fleet armies. Our Xianglong fleet has been active for nearly a year now, so it's fully possible to appoint them as commanders of the 11th and 12th fleets. Although Mitre is a bit younger, she has also trained with the Dragon Legion of the Warhammer for some time before. Her abilities and talent are not as good as Zhao Riyue and Leona, but I believe she has the potential. With a few more months of training, she will be ready. Huang Xiaoting and Zhong Xiaxia are both veterans of our Shadow Dragon. They may lack natural talent, but they work very hard in training. They have been with the Shadow Dragon for a long time and are completely loyal. They are both good candidates. After the first 5 Shadow Dragon units are fully equipped, new candidates will naturally appear, Charlotte said slowly. Zhao Chen looked at these candidates and nodded with satisfaction. That's the best way. We can accept the waiting ships, but not the waiting crews. Every starship we finish must become a fighting force as quickly as possible. Rest assured, Commander, Charlotte promised confidently. Lilith watched nearby and sighed secretly. She thought to herself that Charlotte was under a lot of pressure. In other interstellar forces, commanding a legion usually takes about 10 years of training. But the Shadow Dragon Legion is expanding so fast that in just 5 years, it grew from a small fleet to a super interstellar power controlling half of the known universe. There is a big gap in talent development, especially for top-tier talent. This has created a miracle for the Shadow Dragon Legion. A new crew member can become a commander within a year. Of course, this depends on the crew member having exceptional talent or ability. The combat strength of the Shadow Dragon Legion is also far beyond other interstellar fleets. Only those who have experienced it truly understand this. There's one more piece of news, Lilith suddenly said. Go ahead. Zhao Chun took a sip of the drink beside him. Because of the recent ceasefire between the angel and demon races, both sides are starting to prepare their armies. On the demon side, due to the previous battle, they lost 6 demon legions. Only 6 demon legions and 1 demon king legion remain. The demon king ordered not to rebuild the original 6 demon legions. Only the current 6 demon legions are kept. The 6 lost demon legions, except for the red demon descendants, now belong to local lord forces, but they have no right to form armies. They can only maintain a certain number of fleet units, Lilith explained. Zhao Chen chuckled softly. Is the Demon King trying to take control of the military during this opportunity? But if so, what will happen to the many fleets and legions he no longer has? Lilith continued, so, the Demon King ordered the creation of a new military organization called the Demon Group Fleet. The existing demon armies are now divided into 4 levels. First level, the Demon King Legion. Second level, the 6 existing demon legions, which will be used as elite forces in the future. Third level, the newly formed Demon Group Fleet, which will serve as regular fleet units. In the future, this will be the largest group among demon fleets, possibly making up about 50% to 70%. Fourth level, the Lord fleets within each demon territory, which can be ignored and treated as galaxy defense fleets. There are reports that the Demon King is currently building large interstellar warships, likely preparing for the next big battle. At the same time, the entire demon realm has entered a state of total war. The Demon King has ordered that over 90% of the upcoming year's production capacity be allocated to military budgets. Hearing this, Zhao Chen frowned. The Demon King is really going all out this time. According to previous records, during the 1,000-year war between angels and demons, the highest military budget never exceeded 50%, Charlotte said solemnly. Zhao Chen thought about it. His Xianlong ship, in a sense, spends over 70% to 80% of its annual output on military purposes. The rest is used to expand interstellar industrial ships, preparing for military growth. But Qianlong can do this because Zhao Chun had already separated the civilian part from the Qianlong system early on. The three great empires each have their own budgets for civilian development. Even the Qianlong star system has its own independent civilian development budget. To keep the lower levels stable, Zhao Chun leaves 30% of the local value when exploiting resources in each region for development. Plus, Qianlong builds star gates and engages in interstellar trade, which helps support those star systems and regions. This way, all territories under the Qianlong system develop healthily. Now, with the terrifying military budget of the Demon Clan, Zhao Chun can imagine what will happen in their territory in the coming year. The Demon King is digging his own grave, Zhao Chun thought. Since that's the case, we might as well help him dig a little deeper. Have Qitong contact her people. I want all of them to come see me. He already had a plan in mind. At that moment, suddenly, brilliant fireworks appeared in the sky, creating a colorful display. Videos of this celebration could be seen on every Eden-class starship, every habitable planet, every Qianlong interstellar warship, the Qianlong star system, and within the three great empires. In the videos, Zhao Chun, dressed in Qianlong military uniform, was giving a New Year's greeting. He held a wine glass, smiled, and raised it to the camera, wishing everyone a happy new year. Almost at the same time, everyone in the small courtyard turned their eyes to Zhao Chun. Happy New Year. Early January, galactic calendar 3036, Qianlong star system. Qianlong base, a dozen Demon Clan members sat around the conference table, all looking very tense. Qitong, do you think I look okay dressed like this? Is it formal enough? A male demon pointed to his clothing, which was the traditional attire of the demon race. Yes, Lord Xianglong is human, so maybe we should wear human clothes instead? Red eyes. Why did the commander suddenly summon us? Did we do something wrong? I already said we might be unlucky. Xianglong is currently at war with the demon race. So we are really unlucky. No matter where we run, we can't find peace. This universe is so big. Is this the only place we can live? Red Eyes frowned as she looked at the elders of her clan, many of whom were related to her by blood. She repeated what she had said many times before, don't worry. The commander isn't here to trouble you. Think about it. I am the commander of the 2nd Legion of Xianglong. If the commander really wanted to target our demon clan, would I still hold military power? No matter how much Red Eyes tried to comfort them, the elders remained worried and restless. Until the door of the meeting room opened. The noisy room suddenly became quiet. All the demon descendants stood up silently in their places. Zhao Chun entered, smiling and greeting everyone. Hello, you must be Red Eye's father. Welcome, welcome. Everyone sat down, but Zhao Chun, the Lord of Xianglong, did not take a seat. No one dared to sit. Feeling helpless, Zhao Chun sat down first. Only then did the others sit down slowly, sitting upright and avoiding eye contact with Zhao Chun. At this moment, Zhao Chun noticed that these demons wore hats or had long hair to hide their horns on top of their heads. Red Eyes Demon Clan, apart from the black markings on their bodies and the horns on their heads, looked almost indistinguishable from humans. Previously, Qitong only wore a mask, so when she first met Zhao Chun, he never suspected her true race. Everyone, don't be nervous. I called you all here today just to discuss something, Zhao Chun said kindly. At this moment, Qitong stepped forward and introduced everyone present to Zhao Chun, explaining their identities. The closest to Zhao Chun's seat was naturally Qitong's father, along with several of his brothers, uncles, and other relatives, some of whom might be from several generations ago. The only thing they had in common was that they were all high-ranking members of the demon clan that had escaped here, including Qitong. Commander, if you have any plans for us, just tell us directly. We've had a lot of improvements in our lives here. You arranged for the T5 Creator Starship to modify some habitable planets for us and granted us the household registration of the Xianglong clan. We feel we should repay this kindness, Qitong said confidently, looking at Zhao Chun. Zhao Chun believed what Qitong said, but he wasn't sure if her people shared the same thoughts. However, he didn't mind. As long as he provided enough benefits, some things could be easily handled. Since Qitong has spoken, I'll be straightforward with everyone. The main reason I gathered you here is because of the demon clan, Zhao Chun announced. Many people who had been worried earlier lowered their heads or looked pale, as if they were facing death. We all know about the conflict with the demon clan. You probably also understand their current situation. The demon clan has become very evil. They even use other races and their own kind as energy sources to build starships, and they have created farms on planets to raise living beings for this purpose. Therefore, there is no hope for reconciliation with the current demon clan. A battle is inevitable, but I believe the fault lies with the current high-ranking members of the demon race, the so-called Demon King, the demon generals, and those who drain the blood of the lower-class demons. I am willing to rebuild a demon race that is suitable for all demons to live in. Zhao Qin stood up, looking angry and righteous, then said, "But I am still human, an outsider. Some things must be handled by the demon race itself. So I have a plan. I heard that this new year, the demon race has mobilized for total war and is allocating 90% of this year's output as military budget." What? 90%? Are they crazy? That would starve many people. Qitong's father exclaimed in shock. Qitong's father is the clan leader. He knows well how much budget a race or country needs for people's livelihood. If that part is cut, it means the lives of the lower-class people will be in chaos, even leading to starvation. Zhao Chun was silent for a moment, then said, "Yes, the current Demon King has gone mad. He will do anything for victory. I don't want to see the Demon King drag the entire demon race to his execution. So, I hope everyone here can help me. Go back to your homes and persuade your fellow demons to overthrow the current tyrannical rule of the Demon King." Hearing this, the demon people present understood Zhao Qin's meaning. Lord Xiaolong wants them to go back and rally those demons to rise up. But, thinking of the Demon King's terror, no one spoke. Even Qitong's father looked worried. "Although I can't directly get involved, I will provide support. First, I will provide some starships, and also funds. The funding will be phased. If your progress with the demon race goes well, we will continuously supply funds, and even provide entire fleets of starships." Hearing this, Qitong's father's brow relaxed considerably. Additionally, there is one more point. Suppose a star system is persuaded by someone willing to stand up and overthrow the Demon King's tyranny. After we officially overthrow the Demon King's rule, our Black Dragon is willing to acknowledge that he has the right to be the ruler of that star system, which the people there will consider his territory for generations to come. Zhao Qin's words were like a stone thrown into a calm lake, causing ripples to spread out. Many of the people, who had been lowering their heads, looked up. Some even showed signs of excitement and enthusiasm in their eyes. Since there wasn't much to discuss, the meeting quickly came to an end. No demon tribe members directly expressed their opinions. After all, this was a very important matter, and they wouldn't make a decision right away. They needed to go back and discuss it further. "Do you think they will agree?" Lilith asked as she followed Zhao Chun. Recalling the passionate looks he saw when he mentioned the benefits, Zhao Chun smiled and said, "They will. At first, maybe only a few people. But as those few start to cause a stir, more and more will join in. Because if we succeed, these people can restore their tribe's former glory, and they can become lords of one or even multiple star systems." Among this demon group, there are many like Qi Tong, who cannot be satisfied with an ordinary life. They just need a chance. And now, I am offering them that chance. Plus, since they are high-level members of the demon tribe, even though they have been away from their homeland for decades, they still have connections there. As long as we provide them with resources and take advantage of the chaos caused by the Demon King, they have a good chance of success. Lilith seemed to already see the scene. The Demon King leading his army into fierce battles on the front lines, unaware that his own backyard was already on fire. "Are you really going to hand over those star systems to them?" Lilith asked with some hesitation. Zhao Qin smiled and said, "I am a man of my word. Since they are willing to risk their lives for me, I will naturally fulfill my promises. But we must be clear. They rely on us, Xiaolong, to become the rulers of those star systems. Most of these star systems lack local forces. If we withdraw our support, do you think these so-called rulers can still control their star systems? Then, we can set some rules and restrictions. Would these demon lords refuse?" Lilith's eyes lit up. They will probably be eager to join forces with Xiaolong, using their power to intimidate others. Zhao Chun said with a smile, but said nothing more. This was his plan, and it served multiple purposes. Not only could it hold back the Demon King's main attack, but it could also quietly absorb those demon territories. In the future, after defeating the demon race led by the Demon King, those territories would naturally become part of Xiaolong's domain. Zhao Qian thought far ahead. As for the support we give these people, don't be stingy. Although many will fail, those who succeed will bring huge benefits, Zhao Qian reminded Lilith. The periodic support would need Lilith, the manager, to keep track and calculate. Understood, Lilith replied. Zhao Qian yawned. When the first group willing to carry out our plan appears, bring them to see me. We must maintain the right attitude. Zhao Qian smiled slightly. At this moment, because of Zhao Qian's meeting, the high-ranking demon faction with red eyes was causing a huge commotion. No, I agree to participate. Our race escaped to survive. Going back to interfere now would go against our original goal, said an old demon. Escape? Where can we really go? Look at what kind of life we have lived on that planet over the past few decades. Our tribe was once very glorious, but on that planet, we struggled just to find enough food. If it weren't for Red Eye joining the Black Dragon, changing our living environment, maybe in a few generations, our tribe would have become primitive. This is a rare chance. If we seize it, our tribe can regain its past glory. But we must be careful, or we could face total destruction. Total destruction? Haven't you seen what the current Demon King looks like? If he wins, his army will sweep across the entire universe. When they find us, isn't that already our destruction? Or do you want to keep leading our people to wander forever? But, can we really trust Lord Black Dragon? Trust is mutual. Red Eye is now a Legion commander among the Black Dragons, and he has even secured a household registration and a habitable planet for us. You haven't left our planet before. Now that I show the household registration, others look at us differently. Serving Lord Black Dragon is definitely the right choice. I think we should discuss this further. At this moment, a young man suddenly drew a dagger, cut his palm, and blood flowed out. He quickly drew a pattern on the table. When everyone saw the pattern, they all fell silent. It was 2 crossed daggers, with 4 horns in the gaps where they crossed. Do you remember when our emblem was floating among the stars? When was that? That's the badge of our demon tribe. We escaped our home because we couldn't agree with the Demon King's ideas, and our military strength was too weak to resist. Finally, I chose to leave and go to a new place. Now that we have a chance, why not fight back? I don't care how you choose, I want to go back. I want to reclaim everything for our family, return to my homeland, and make our family crest shine again. After saying this, the young man walked out of the room. There was a moment of silence inside, then the arguing started again. But sometimes, someone would step out of the room. Red-Eye's father sighed, and also left the room. Outside, Red-Eyed was waiting nearby. Her father approached her, looking at his daughter dressed in the Xiongling military uniform, brave and confident, completely different from the rebellious girl who ran away to become a space pirate. Red-Eyed, what do you think about what the Xiongling Lord said? Her father asked with a complicated expression. Red-Eyed looked at her father and slowly spoke. Because I am now the commander of the Xiongling Second Army, I haven't spoken a word until now. Now, I speak as your daughter. This might be our family's last chance to rise again. Of course, I respect your decision. At least with me in Xiongling, our family can live with dignity here. Red-Eye didn't give a direct suggestion, but her father's eyes became clearer. At this moment, Lilith spoke up, saying, Earlier, you wanted to meet with the representatives of the mechanical clan. One of their representatives, who calls himself Ain, said he could have a video call with you. Zhao Qian's expression became serious. Previously, regarding the annual tasks issued by the system and the threat from the demon clan to the mechanical clan, Zhao Qian wanted to inform the mechanical clan about it. However, he couldn't contact the young girl, so he had to find other high-ranking members of the mechanical clan. Now, finally, there was a response. Arrange the call, Zhao Qian said. A few minutes later, Zhao Qian looked at the virtual hologram in front of him. On the screen, a female mechanical figure with silver hair appeared. Lord Xianlong, what do you want to talk to me about? Ain asked directly. Her voice was mechanical but had some feminine tone features, which made her sound less harsh. Zhao Qian replied, I have very important matters to discuss with your highest leader, but I haven't been able to reach her recently. Could you help me contact her? Ain answered, Our master is busy with something else right now and can't be available. If you have something urgent, Just tell me. Zhao Chen frowned. The young girl was unavailable because of some matter, and he also thought about the threat of the demon clan invading the mechanical clan. Could there be a connection? He emphasized again, this is very important. It would be best if I could speak with your leader face to face. It might be a matter of life and death for the mechanical clan. He added extra emphasis on the last 4 words. But Ain replied calmly, sorry, our master really can't meet with you right now. Then can you tell me where she is, or what she's doing? Zhao Chen asked, frowning. This is a secret of ours and cannot be shared, Ain replied. This lack of information was really frustrating. Zhao Chen said seriously, this matter is very important. At least you can pass my message to your leader and tell me her reply. Isn't that possible? Ain paused this time and replied, sorry, we cannot contact our master in a short time. Could they not reach the young girl either? Zhao Chen frowned. If you have something important to tell us, please do so. If you don't want to share, then we are powerless. If there's nothing else, let's end this communication here. Perhaps because she was a mechanical being, Ain's attitude was very cold. Not the coldness of a distant beauty, but as if she didn't care about anything at all. If she didn't speak, Zhao Chen would think she was just an inanimate piece of art. He sighed deeply. Now he had no other choice. He looked at Ain seriously and said, all right, I hope you will seriously consider what I am about to say. Based on the information I have received, the demon race's next strategic target might include your mechanical race, especially your most core areas. Therefore, I hope you can take the initiative and carry out necessary military actions against the demon race. Or, I hope you can strengthen your own military defenses to prevent such incidents from happening. The young girl had previously said that the demon race was testing Zhao Chen's dragon, and she would not participate in this cosmic war before that. So, Zhao Chen couldn't be sure whether Ain would take action against the mechanical race. As expected, Ain's next words confirmed Zhao Chen's suspicion. Sorry, our master has given instructions that in this battle involving the dragon, the angel race, and the demon race, our mechanical race will not participate anymore. After a pause, Ain continued, regarding your concern that the demon race might invade us, there is no need to worry. Our mechanical race has enough military strength to compete with any interstellar force in this universe. No one can threaten our mechanical race. At the moment I knew I couldn't meet that little girl, I guessed this would be the result. The reason I said those words was just to try my luck. Maybe there's a chance? Seeing this, I didn't bother to argue further. I looked at the other person helplessly and said, all right. I hope that once your leader reestablishes contact, you will reach out to me immediately. Also, I advise you not to relax your guard against the demon race. Additionally, I want to set up a quick communication channel between us. If you need help or face any serious crisis, contact me right away. I don't think we will face any crisis, but I agree that setting up a quick communication channel is fine. If there's nothing else, shall we end this communication? Ain replied. I sighed, feeling that this meeting had finally achieved a small success. I nodded and ended the video call. How did it go? Lilith asked nearby. I didn't see that person. She seemed busy with something, and even her close followers couldn't contact her. As for my claim that the demon race might threaten the mechanical race, she didn't believe it. But she agreed to set up a quick communication system. I said helplessly, how are you sure that the demon race will attack the mechanical race? Lilith asked with confusion. From the information we have, there's no data about that. Honestly, if I heard someone say that out of the blue, I wouldn't believe it either. Her attitude is completely understandable. Just a gut feeling. I made a weak excuse. I couldn't exactly say it was a task assigned by the system, could I? Speaking of which, Zhao Chen opened his system interface. The previous trigger task, the secret of the mechanical clan. This year's quarterly task hasn't appeared yet. That section is empty. With the quarterly task empty, Zhao Chen felt like a storm was about to come. But since it didn't appear, he didn't know how to solve it. First, let's look at this year's new end-of-year task. Annual task, the fall of the demon clan task. Eliminate or control the demon clan. The task is simple and matches the current situation faced by Zhao Chen's Shadow Dragon Legion. It's about the demon clan. Right now, both of Zhao Chen's current tasks are related to the demon clan. This annual task is to eliminate or control the demon clan. And the progress of the secret of the mechanical clan is also helping the mechanical clan resist attacks from the demon clan. It seems that a battle between his Shadow Dragon Legion and the demon clan is inevitable. All he can do now is wait. Wait for a war that might sweep across the entire universe. In a demon clan territory, a shuttle is docked at a spaceport outside a planet. A person dressed in a gray robe, wearing a bird-shaped mask, walks down. This kind of outfit is not unusual among the demon clan. The various tribes within the demon clan number in the hundreds, each with their own customs. Plus, their appearances vary greatly. Sometimes, when going out, they wear accessories to make their looks more similar, making it easier to get along. The man in the gray robe and bird mask steps out, glancing around. How about it? Haven't seen each other in decades. Don't you recognize your old mother? A woman's voice comes from in front of him. The gray-robed man with the bird mask looks at the woman before him. Both of their eyes are filled with complex emotions, and just from their gazes, you can feel the story behind their expressions. The gray-robed bird-masked man wants to speak. The woman turned her head directly and said, "This isn't a good place to talk. Come with me." She then walked straight into the interior of the starport. The man in the gray robe and bird mask said nothing and silently followed behind. After about 10 minutes, inside a quiet alleyway tavern in the starport, the woman entered and went straight to the counter. "Do you need something?" A demon behind the counter asked with a cheeky smile. The woman lightly tapped her fist on the table, then glanced at the man in the gray robe and bird mask who had also entered the tavern. "Open a private room for me. I want a drink," she said. "Understood. Please go to the second floor," the demon replied, pointing to the staircase behind the wall. The woman walked over and disappeared behind the wall. You could hear her footsteps going upstairs. The man in the gray robe and bird mask also followed. The serving demon didn't stop him, but smiled and pointed toward the direction behind the wall. When the man reached behind the wall, he saw a hidden staircase going down next to the upward staircase. "Customer, please go upstairs," the serving demon said, while one hand pointed at the downward staircase. The man understood what was meant and quietly went down the stairs. Strangely, even though he was going down, the sounds coming from below seemed as if he was going upstairs. When the man's figure disappeared at the bottom of the stairs, the serving demon loosened his grip, and the hidden staircase vanished as if it had never been there. Everything returned to normal. In a hidden room below the tavern, the woman sat on a sofa, staring at the man who had followed her down. She snorted coldly and said, "You really dared to follow me here. I can't believe you contacted me. Are you not worried I might report you to the Demon King?" She added, "Remember, you've always been wanted by the Demon King." The man took off his mask, revealing horns on his forehead and black markings on his face. "If you wanted to betray me, you would have done so when I came to see you before my clan fled." As soon as the man finished speaking, the demon woman lunged forward, her tone filled with blame and tears. "Dead ghost, where have you been all these years? Do you know? I've been looking for you everywhere. Why are you only now contacting me? Since your family fled, I haven't heard anything about you. I thought the Demon King's guard fleet had already destroyed you all." The man could feel the trembling of the beautiful woman in his arms. His feelings were very complicated. The main reason he agreed to take that task was because there was someone he cared about here, someone he had let down. If that man's plan succeeds, it means he can love that person openly. Because he heard that the person had been alone all these years. "We escaped to the other side of this universe. It was hard, but at least we are still alive. And now, I am standing here in front of you, safe and sound," the man said with a smile. The demon woman let go of his hand and looked at the middle-aged man before her. She remembered when they were young and together. Thinking of those times, she instinctively lowered her head. "We've both grown old. No, to me, you've always been the same as you once were," the man said, holding her hand tightly. "Then why didn't you take me with you back then?" The demon woman suddenly raised her voice. "Do you know how I've been living all these years?" Seeing her pained expression, he clenched his fists and whispered, "I wanted to take you away. Over the past decades, I've dreamed of taking you countless times. But even now, if I had to choose again, I wouldn't take you away. You have your family, your loved ones. If I had taken you, given the Demon King's temper at the time, he would have destroyed your entire family. Your people have their own land here and are on the rise. They won't abandon everything to follow us just for you and me." "I'm sorry." The woman lowered her head and said nothing. She knew the answer well. Her previous words were just emotional expressions. "But this time, I want to stay. Not only do I want to stay, but I also want you to be able to be with me openly and proudly, with great honor, with everyone's blessings." The man said firmly. This was his way of repaying the woman for her many years of waiting. "What are you planning? Why are you back this time?" The woman finally asked about the real reason. The man explained his purpose. He had received a mission from the Dragon Lord. "My niece is now a high-ranking commander in the Dragon Legion. Thanks to her protection, our tribe's life has improved in recent years. The Dragon Lord is also willing to help us overthrow the current Demon King's rule. This man's niece is Red Eye, and he is her father's younger brother." Overthrow the Demon King's rule? The woman's expression grew complicated. Think about it. Under this Demon King's rule, our demon tribe's policies have become more extreme, and conflicts among the lower demons are increasing. You should know all this. He also uses that evil technology. If he continues to develop, it will surely destroy the entire demon tribe. The man tried to persuade his former lover. The woman bit her lip lightly and looked at her lover. She said, "I trust you, but I can't guarantee I can convince my family. Such things are happening more and more within the demon tribe. They are slowly corrupting the Demon King's inner circle." Early March, year 3036 of the galactic calendar Dragon Emperor Ship Council Hall, all the tables and chairs had been removed. At this moment, a neat line of Falcon Dragon officers stood together, all showing excited and proud expressions on their faces. On their uniforms, there was a badge with the number 11 on their shoulders. This badge represented their current Falcon Dragon Legion number. At the front of the line, 4 people stood. 1 in front, 3 behind. The sound of military boots hitting the floor echoed as Zhao Chen appeared in the hall dressed in formal clothes. Behind him, Lily and Charlotte followed, both wearing official uniforms for their respective roles. This caused all the officers present to stand straight, their posture firm and sharp like steel spears. "Report to the commander. All captains and above in the Falcon Dragon 11th Legion are present. Please give your orders." The woman at the front of the line said proudly. Zhao Chen walked up to her, smiling as he looked at this woman he knew very well. She had joined the Falcon Dragon Legion just a year ago and was promoted to Legion Commander. This was entirely due to Zhao Riyue's personal effort and the votes of all 10 current Legion commanders. Zhao Riyue stood out. She became the 11th Legion commander since the Legion's expansion. "Zhao Riyue, step forward," Lily called out. Zhao Riyue took a step forward and stood in front of Zhao Chen. "Now, I announce my appointment. Zhao Riyue is officially the commander of the Falcon Dragon 11th Legion," Zhao Chen said. As he spoke, Lily stepped forward holding a box with a golden dragon-shaped badge on it. The badge had a purple gold dragon pattern and the number 11 in the middle. Zhao Chen took out the badge and personally placed it on Zhao Riyue. The 2 women behind her looked on with envy. "Rest assured, Commander, I will lead the Falcon Dragon 11th Legion to fight bravely." Zhao Riyue straightened up, saluted loudly, and shouted. Her voice was loud enough to be heard throughout the hall. "Zhao Riyue, return to your team. Mady and Leona, step forward," Lily said. Zhao Riyue took a step back, and the 2 women behind her stepped forward to stand in front of Zhao Chen. The 2 who joined the Dragon Squadron just after Zhao Riyue are also classmates of hers. "Officially appoint Madir and Leona as vice commanders of the 11th Dragon Squadron," Zhao Chen announced. This time, Charlotte stepped forward and took out 2 different shoulder badges from a jewelry box that Lyris had just brought out. She placed them on the 2 women. While Charlotte was pinning the badge on Madir, she patted her half-sister and gave an encouraging look. Madir was overjoyed. If it weren't for the formal setting, she might have burst into tears and thrown herself into her sister's arms. She was finally able to fight alongside her sister again. Leona looked at her shoulder badge, then at Zhao Riyue's badge. Zhao Riyue noticed Leona's gaze and smiled at her. Leona curled her lips, as if saying, "One day, I will also command a dragon squadron." If someone else had been appointed commander of the 11th Dragon Squadron, Leona might have been unhappy. But since it was Zhao Riyue, she felt confident. Because Zhao Riyue's abilities in some areas are quite good. Although Leona never openly admitted it, she had already accepted her as a worthy rival in her heart. Hu Xing'er stepped forward. Hu Xing'er came out. Although she was wearing a Dragon Squadron uniform, perhaps because of her race's talent, she still carried a charming aura in her movements. She was truly a little fairy. officially appoint Hu Xing'er as the secretary of the 11th Dragon Squadron. This time, Laliris, the highest secretary of the Dragon Squadron, awarded Hu Xing'er her rank. After receiving her rank, Hu Xing'er's gaze fell on Charlotte, who was standing next to Laliris, with a hint of disappointment. The other fleet captains and commanders were appointed by Zhao Riyue and her team. Soon, the ceremony was over. Since then, the Shadow Dragon's 11th Legion has truly been established. Unexpectedly, in just 2 months, we built 30,000 interstellar warships, Zhao Chun said with emotion, looking out the porthole of the Dragon Emperor ship at the 30,000 brand-new warships on display. This is thanks to the efforts of several chief engineers and the industrial bases of the 3 major empires, which provided some semi-finished mid- and low-level technologies for the Shadow Dragon base, greatly reducing the time needed to build each warship. Another reason is that the fleets of each Shadow Dragon Legion haven't rushed to replace the interstellar warships lost last year, Lilith explained nearby. The second reason indeed played a big role. It was also because of Zhao Chen's orders. First, establish the foundation of the new Legion fleet, since it takes time to develop combat power after formation. Meanwhile, the older Legion fleets can easily recover their previous strength by filling in the gaps with new warships. How many interstellar warships are still needed to fill the gaps for our 10 old Legion fleets? Zhao Chen asked. Charlotte, who was most familiar with this, replied directly, about 100,000 warships are still needed. That made Zhao Chen's head ache. It was really due to the huge losses in the battle at the end of last year. But it was worth it, as we replaced 6 demon legions of the Demon Clan, a great victory. How many interstellar warships can we produce in a single month now? Zhao Chen asked. Lilith said nearby, although our last summary report showed that in 3 months, we could build 30,000 Shadow Dragon warships according to the Legion standards. But after adjustments by the 3 chief engineers, if we combine the resources of groups like Beiyin and some integrated military industries of the 3 empires, the efficiency can be greatly improved. Without considering raw material consumption, based on current production requirements, we can actually produce 50,000 warships per month, most of which are T3-level interstellar warships. A portion of the supplies must be sold to the Angel Clan as military purchase orders. Zhao Chen nodded, knowing about this matter as well. Currently, the military industries under the Xiaolong Galactic Group are very busy, needing to meet many production demands. In summary, maintaining the production of 1 Xiaolong Legion every 2 months and restoring 10 old Xiaolong Legions to their original starship numbers will take at least until mid-year. And this is without any battles breaking out. Lilith provided this data. Listening to Lilith's report, Zhao Chen said in a deep voice, "It seems we can only hope that the Demon Clan will delay their trouble for a while. Both sides are now gathering their strength. No one knows who will strike first. But Zhao Chun is confident that the longer they delay, the more advantage the Xiaolong Legion will have. The Xiaolong Legion currently lacks time. Unfortunately, things often don't go as planned." Time quickly passed to the end of March. When Zhao Chen's quarterly mission hadn't been refreshed for a while, a new task window appeared. Quarterly mission update. Please choose how you will provide military aid to the Mechanical Clan and the Angel Clan over the next 3 months. 1. Military support. 2. Weapon support. 3. Financial support. 4. Public support. Note: once you choose a support method, switching to another will automatically fail this mission. Option 4 grants 3 T6 combat starships. Option 3 grants 2 T6 combat starships. Option 2 grants 1 T6 combat starship. Option 1 grants a quasi T6 combat starship. Zhao Chen frowned. The appearance of this quarterly mission at this time basically indicates that the Demon Clan is about to make a move against the Mechanical and Angel clans. This task's requirements are really a bit too much. There's no need to talk about option 4. But the reward for this task is very tempting. The highest reward is 3 T6 interstellar warships, but that means Zhao Chun cannot provide any aid to the Angel and Demon races. Does that mean I can't offer military orders now? Zhao Chen wondered. Military orders are part of weapon and equipment aid. If you choose options 3 or 4, you cannot continue to provide weapon aid, or the task will be considered failed. Sure enough, there are no bugs blocking him. Zhao Chen rubbed his chin. Honestly, he really wanted to choose option 4. But from a probability perspective, since the demon race dared to attack the mechanical race, it shows they have their own confidence. If he can't provide any support within 3 months, who knows what might happen? And it could seriously damage his relationships with the mechanical and angel races. Reluctantly, Zhao Chun had to give up these 3 top-tier T6 treasures. Next, he also had to give up the 2 T6 treasures from option 3. After all, why would the angel and mechanical races lack funds? That's a joke. If they were short on money, they wouldn't ask Xianglong to buy interstellar warships. Not to mention the wealthy mechanical race. The only options left are option 1 and option 2. Of these, naturally, option 2 offers the best reward, at least including 1 T6 interstellar warship. Right now, Zhao Chun doesn't have any T6 combat-type interstellar warships. If Xianglong can build and put into service a T6 combat-type warship at this time, it would be a huge boost to his strength. Zhao Chun's mind moved, and a golden box appeared around option 2 in the quarterly task list, indicating this option has been selected. Now it's only the end of March, and this quarterly task is to be completed in 3 months. In just a few days, April will arrive. Does that mean I have to complete 2 quarterly tasks at the same time? Zhao Chun thought about this strange detail. Never mind, since it's a system task, I will just do it. Right now, I need to pay close attention to what the demon race is doing. While Zhao Chun was thinking, Charlotte contacted him. Commander, the front line of the angel race has just sent the latest news. The demon fleet has moved. Charlotte's holographic image said. Tell me more details. Zhao Chun asked seriously. Charlotte began to explain carefully. A few hours ago, a fleet of 1 million demon starships headed to the border area near the angel-controlled zone, showing signs of preparing for battle. On the angel side, the King of War Angels and the King of Holy Angels have already ordered all angel fleet units to prepare for combat. So, that means they haven't fought yet? Zhao Chun asked suspiciously. Yes, the latest news is that both sides are still facing off. The angel side has 600,000 starships, and the demon side has 1 million. Although the demon fleet is larger, the angel fleet is equipped with many starships from our Xianglong series, and their own starships are also quite good. So, the current situation on the battlefield is quite balanced, Charlotte analyzed. Something's not right, Zhao Chun frowned. What's wrong? Is there something strange? Charlotte asked, confused. Zhao Chun squinted his eyes. I studied the demon race's fighting style. When they decide to attack, they don't hesitate or drag things out. Especially when fighting angels, they usually go straight into battle with a big charge. Their current stance looks like they're just putting on a show for outsiders. Then, what are they really up to? Charlotte wondered. Zhao Chun suddenly thought of something. He immediately asked, are there any updates from the mechanical race? Charlotte shook her head and said, the mechanical clan's territory is too high up. We don't have enough people to monitor it. But I can try to contact the hidden interstellar reconnaissance ship inside the demon clan's territory to see if we can observe any special actions through their fleet movements, she added. Zhao Chun nodded seriously and said, pay close attention, especially to the mechanical clan. I will also contact the mechanical clan, he continued. After finishing communication with Charlotte, Zhao Chun immediately used the quick communication channel he had established earlier with the mechanical girl, Ayin. Is there something you need? Ayin asked coldly. The demon clan has declared war on the angel clan again, but I worry their real target is you. So, I hope you can strengthen your defenses, Zhao Chun warned seriously. Ayin responded coldly. The demon clan wouldn't dare to offend our mechanical clan. If you're trying to use this as an excuse to involve our fleet and help you deal with the demon clan, I suggest you reconsider. Our owner said that the demon clan is your problem to handle. We won't offer any more help. If there's nothing else, let's end here. Don't contact me unless it's important, she finished. After that, the mechanical girl, Ayin, directly hung up the communication. This woman, Zhao Chun didn't expect his kind warning to be misunderstood as having ulterior motives. She is stubborn and uncooperative. It seems we can only leave it to fate now. What's wrong? The mechanical girl, Ajin, asked as she looked at Ayin returning. Lord Xianglong contacted me, saying the demon clan is planning to attack us. I think he's trying to use this as an excuse to drag us into their conflict with the demon clan, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, Ayin snorted coldly. A Jean turned around and looked at a huge spherical mist in front of her, where something seemed to be flickering. Right now, the most important thing is here. Let them handle their own problems outside. These carbon-based beings have fighting instincts written into their genes. Honestly, if it weren't for the principles of our master, I would agree with the mechanical god cult's idea of completely destroying those carbon-based life forms. A Jean said calmly. Ain shrugged and said, but the existence of carbon-based life is inevitable, as you can see. Our mechanical race has been studying technology all these years, but besides improving existing techniques to the highest level, we haven't made any major technological breakthroughs. Maybe, as our master said, we mechanical beings lack creativity. A Jean didn't delve into this topic further. Ain looked at the black, spherical mist before them and asked, has our master returned yet? Not yet. He mentioned before that the situation there is quite serious, and this trip might take at least 3 or 5 months. A Jean replied in a deep voice. Those guys are really persistent. After so many years, they still have us in mind. I really want to wipe them out completely. Ain said fiercely. A Jean sighed deeply. If only we could eliminate them. It wouldn't have taken so many years. And it would be different now. Then, the two stood there without moving. Time had no effect on them, so they didn't care about it at all. Unbeknownst to them, in the darkness, a pair of claws they never expected had already fixed their gaze on them. Outside the royal court of the mechanical race, in a neighboring beta star system, there is a large stargate. Interstellar warships come and go through the beta star gate constantly, mostly transport ships. Although ships travel back and forth, the feeling here is completely different from the stargates used by the angel race or the owl dragon. It's as if these ships are just puppets controlled by someone, lifeless and empty. Outside the beta star gate, mechanical fleet ships were patrolling in an orderly manner. For decades, even over 100 years, this routine had remained the same, unchanging. But today, a stone was thrown into this calm water. Suddenly, an interstellar battleship from the mechanical fleet was hit by a cannon fired from an unknown source. Sparks and flames appeared on its hull. Other ships in the fleet reacted quickly, but before they could locate the enemy, more attacks struck their hulls. Within moments, this patrol fleet of 300 interstellar ships lost all fighting ability. At the same time, similar scenes unfolded around the beta star gate, with several mechanical patrol fleets. An alarm sounded, signaling war within the area. It was at this moment that the true identity of the attackers became clear to the mechanical fleet guarding the beta star gate. One by one, demonic-type interstellar ships appeared seemingly out of nowhere, emerging in groups around the gate. The moment they appeared, they launched fierce attacks on the gate. All these demonic ships bore a symbol on their hulls. They belonged to the Black Angel Legion, one of the 3 elite fleets of the demon race. In front of the beta star gate, several T5 Imperial Steel Fist-class heavy interstellar battleships formed a battle line. Despite being caught off guard, their calm and steady attitude allowed them to quickly restore order on the battlefield. But in the next second, a terrifying beam of light shot from afar, striking a T5 Imperial Steel Fist ship's star shield first. The shield shattered instantly. The ship itself was torn apart from the middle. It was unexpectedly destroyed in a single hit, even though its star shield was fully charged. Almost all fleet commanders and captains searched for the attacker. The attacker was a uniquely shaped black interstellar battleship within the Black Angel Legion. Its bow was marked with glowing particles that hadn't yet disappeared. The recent attack was their best work. I have never seen such a demon-type starship before. Based on the data, this appears to be a nearly T6 level starship. The top officer of the Beta Star Gate, a mechanical life form, stands in his command room, watching the battle outside. He speaks. Contact the royal court, inform them of what is happening here, and report the existence of this nearly T6 demon starship. Then, prepare to destroy the Beta Star Gate. Seeing the demon's attack, he realizes the gate cannot be defended. To prevent it from falling into enemy hands, he decisively orders the self-destruction of the Stargate. Suddenly, an explosion sounds from the wall of the command room, creating a large hole. Before the dust settles, gunfire and explosions follow. After a few minutes, the dust slowly clears. A group of soldiers enters. One soldier kneels to look at the top officer of the Stargate, who has only half of his body left on the ground. His exposed wiring still sparks. "It's you. You are a traitor," the top officer says, staring at the mechanical officer who holds an important position at Beta Stargate. "I have always been loyal to the mechanical god cult," the man replies, pulling out a device and stabbing it into the officer's head. At the same time, he lifts his hand and reopens the Beta Stargate system. After connecting the device, a system prompt sounds. "Stargate permissions have been changed." The man smiles and spreads his arms. "Tell our great prophet, we have succeeded." Losing control of the Beta Stargate is only a matter of time. Fortunately, the message has already been sent. The two mechanical women, who had been standing still, suddenly tremble and exchange a glance. They had just received an urgent communication. They immediately turn around and head toward the door. Outside is another hall filled with many mechanical officers, who seem very busy right now. "Two lords, the latest news. The Beta Stargate has fallen." A senior officer at the Beta Stargate, who is part of the mechanical god cult, attacked the command room, cracked the Stargate's secret key, and now controls the Beta Stargate. The attacker is from the Demon Clan's Black Angel Legion. The subordinate reports. "Demon Clan, Black Angel Legion?" Ayan was shocked. She remembered what Lord Xiaolong had warned her about before. "Report, we have the latest news. A large Stargate, which connects our territory with the Demon Clan's domain, was suddenly attacked by the Demon Fleet and has been lost. A large number of demon ships are heading toward this Stargate," the subordinate reports. This news hit her like a thunderbolt. At this moment, the two mechanical girls finally reacted. They looked at the star map. Their target is the royal court. Charlotte's holographic image appeared before Zhao Chun. Seeing Charlotte look so anxious, Zhao Chun guessed what was happening. He asked, "Did something happen to the mechanical clan?" Charlotte raised her hand and opened a star map. Zhao Chun looked at the map, which showed both the Demon Clan's territory and the mechanical clan's domain. In the mechanical clan's territory, a star system near the Demon Clan's domain was marked in yellow. Within this yellow area, there was a red Stargate symbol. Between this red Stargate and the Demon Clan's territory, there was a faint red dashed line, indicating the fleet's route. This shows that the Demon Clan is continuously sending interstellar warships to this location. At the same time, around the core area of the mechanical clan's domain, a sudden red mark appeared. It was another Stargate. The Demon Clan launched attacks on Stargates in two parts of the mechanical clan's territory, both large Stargates. One Stargate is close to the Demon Clan's domain, and the other is very near the mechanical clan's core, the royal court. If they use faster-than-light travel, they can reach it in 5 hours. Currently, our latest information indicates that both of these Stargates have demon spies inside. When the demon fleet attacked the Stargates and the top officials wanted to destroy them, the demons took control of the gates instead. Now, both Stargates are in demon hands. The demon army is continuously sending their fleet toward the core area of the mechanical race. According to reports from our stealth reconnaissance ships, at least 1 million demon starships are heading through this route toward the mechanical kingdom's royal court. Charlotte's report made Zhao Chun feel very worried. Using his system tasks, Zhao Chun predicted that the demons would attack the mechanical race. But he never expected the demon attack to be so focused and aggressive. Or rather, to succeed so smoothly. They are even threatening the core area of the mechanical race. Why did it go so smoothly? Why didn't the mechanical fleet guarding these Stargates stop them? Zhao Chun asked with a frown. Charlotte replied seriously, "We have some battlefield intelligence. Preliminary analysis shows that, besides the spies inside the Stargates, the demons could easily take over the gates and destroy the mechanical fleet defending them because they used many T5 stealthy starships." Charlotte read out a somewhat unfamiliar name. Stealth ships? Zhao Chun remembered. Is that the demon T5 starship the Red Demon Legion used before, which can hide the entire fleet? When the Red Demon Legion went on the Warhammer expedition, this starship appeared. It has no combat ability on its own, but its group invisibility is very impressive. Since then, the Xianglong Legion has deployed many stealth reconnaissance ships when fighting the demon fleet. Experts in this field, the Xianglong Legion, naturally know how to counter such tactics. After that, the Demon Clan and the Fierce Dragon rarely used this starship in direct battles. I didn't expect to hear about it again until it was involved in fighting the Mechanical Legion. Does the Mechanical Clan have no way to counter stealth? Why did they let those demon fleet ships sneak right under their noses? One even reached the Stargate near their royal court. Zhao Chun was angry, as if scolding a useless child. Charlotte explained, I think it's because of the mechanical god cult. Those traitors of the Stargates are all aligned with the mechanical god cult. Zhao Chun fell silent. This was very likely. The followers of the mechanical god cult are part of the Mechanical Clan, even though their main base in that star system was destroyed by the fierce Dragon Legion. Zhao Chun had always suspected that the mechanical god cult still existed. Now it seems his suspicion was correct. Many cult followers are hiding within the Mechanical Clan. This time, the sudden attack by the Demon Clan on the Mechanical Clan was greatly aided by these hidden cult members. Another reason is that among the Demon Fleet, there appears to be a starship that might be close to T6 level, Charlotte said, causing Zhao Chun to be surprised again. T6. Are you sure? Zhao Chun asked seriously. We intercepted some battlefield data, and it's pretty certain. We also got a code name used internally by the Demon Clan. It's a heavy starship. Its main weapon system is very powerful. A single shot from its bow cannon can destroy a T5 heavy starship of the Mechanical Empire, even one with full shield energy. The only weakness is its defense and speed. That might be why it's considered a near T6, but not fully T6, Charlotte explained. It's called a near T6 destroyer-class heavy starship. Zhao Chun muttered to himself about the name. Charlotte added some more information. We also suspect that this starship uses that kind of evil technology. She explained that their investigation shows the demon race has recently transported many people. Some planets within their territory have been blocked, claiming there was an uncontrollable plague inside. However, they believe that all the residents on those planets were taken away to power the starship. All these planets are low-level races within the demon race, with very little presence or importance. Zhao Chun narrowed his eyes and asked, how many of these starships does the demon race have? So far, they know of two. One is active with the Black Angel Legion, and the other with the Rage Legion. These two elite demon armies are responsible for attacking the two Stargates. Based on their predictions, the Demon King's personal guard also likely has this type of starship. The total number should be at least 5. Have the mechanical race taken any action? Zhao Chun looked at the star map. Even though the two mechanical girls are confident, the facts are clear now. They are not fools and won't stay indifferent. The mechanical race has dispatched 1 million starships to the locations of these two Stargates. Additionally, the Mechanical King's court has sent another 300,000 starships. In the future, the number of starships stationed by the Mechanical King's court will reach 1 million. The exact number of starships the mechanical race owns has always been a mystery. But now, they have mobilized a total of 3 million starships. It should be enough to handle the situation. Keep a close eye on the mechanical race's battles, and also help me contact the angel race, Zhao Chun said. Although he can't send his fleet, he can still do some things. Zhao Chun has also established a quick communication channel with the Angel King of the angel race. Soon, Zhao Chun saw holographic images of 2 angel kings in front of him. Lord Xiaolong, you contacted us about the demon race? The Holy Angel King guessed Zhao Chun's purpose. It's related, but not entirely. I already know about your frontline confrontation with the demon race. Now, I need you to take the initiative and attack. Zhao Chun said seriously. Attack first? The Holy Angel King looked at Zhao Chun in surprise. The War Angel King next to him also asked with doubt. Although I really want to attack first and vent our anger from before, our angel fleet hasn't fully recovered yet. If we attack now, it will cause us great loss. Even the War Angel King, who is usually eager for battle, was hesitant at this moment. It shows how much damage those battles caused to the angel race. Even with a large order of Xiaolong military supplies supporting them, in just a few months, they still couldn't fully recover. I understand your current situation, but this is a rare chance for you. I have received intelligence that the demon race has mobilized 1 million starships to attack the mechanical race, and there are signs they might send more demon fleets. The 1 million demon starships in front of you are probably just a feint, meant to deceive you, to prevent you from attacking them now and to protect their real plans. Zhao Chun explained the current situation. Compared to Xiaolong's intelligence network, The angel race is naturally behind, especially since this is their own territory. What? The demon race has declared war on the mechanical race. How is that possible? Is the demon king crazy? The war angel king found it hard to believe. Zhao Chun shared his guess. Right now, the mechanical race might be in a weak state for some reason. Plus, the demon race has received some help, gaining a large number of interstellar warships and nearly T6 class ships. So, they want to take this chance to attack the mechanical race and directly invade the mechanical king's palace. He said, the nearly T6 interstellar warship? You mean the demon race has nearly T6 ships? The king of war angels exclaimed again. In just a few minutes, the information he knew hit him like a thunderbolt. Zhao Chun raised his hand and showed some video clips he had obtained. This is a heavy interstellar battleship called the nearly T6 destroyer class. We have confirmed there are 2 of these ships, but we guess the demon race has at least 5. Thanks to this powerful weapon, the demon race dares to attack the mechanical race's territory and even target the mechanical king's palace, Zhao Chun said seriously. Where did the demon race get the technology for nearly T6 interstellar ships? The king of war angels murmured hesitantly. The holy angel king looked thoughtful and said, if the situation is like this, Lord Xianglong, shouldn't we just watch and wait? Since the mechanical and demon races are fighting each other, we can use this time to restore our strength. When they finish fighting, we can step in. If Zhao Chun didn't know the secrets of the mechanical race, he would fully agree and understand this idea. Zhao Chun opened his mouth, but hesitated. He wasn't sure if he should reveal the secrets of the mechanical race to these 2 angel kings now. That secret could be a bomb for the universe right now. After a moment of silence, Zhao Chun looked seriously at the 2 angel kings and said, I understand that you see the mechanical race and the demon race as the same threat. But let me ask you, are the mechanical race really the same as the demon race? Over the past thousands of years, haven't you all noticed that the mechanical race has had several opportunities to destroy any of our interstellar forces? Although I don't know why they haven't acted, at least it shows they currently have no intention of eliminating us. And what about the demon race? They study evil life energy technology and are very aggressive. Given the chance, they would enslave any interstellar force that opposes them. Now, strangely, the demon race is producing a nearly T6 class starship and suddenly declaring war on the mechanical race. There is a strange feeling behind all this. If the demon race defeats the mechanical race and even controls their territory and resources, do you think, can we really sit back and watch like a mantis catching a cicada, unaware of the danger behind? Zhao Chun's words are very powerful. The 2 kings of angels remained silent for a long time. And as I said before, this is a rare opportunity for your angel race. While the demon and mechanical races are fighting, you can take advantage of the situation to attack and take back the fallen star systems and important resource mines. Recovering these would be a big benefit for your angel race. Even if the demon race sends more fleets later, you can plan accordingly. If they refuse to give up those resource star systems and send heavy troops, it will affect the battle with the mechanical race. You can withdraw your forces, suffer no loss, and even annoy the demon race. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. I believe both of you understand this well. After hearing Zhao Chun's words, the 2 angel kings looked at each other. We need to discuss this. Time is short, both of you, Zhao Chun reminded. The communication was temporarily cut off. Lilith, standing nearby, looked at the commander and asked, Commander, at this time, should we send the fleet to join the fight? Not yet, because last year's battle caused us heavy losses. Until it's a critical moment, don't send troops without permission, Zhao Chun replied. Of course, he didn't explain that this was to protect his T6 interstellar battleship. But if we don't send troops and instead persuade the angel race to fight, could that make them suspicious? Lilith wondered about this. Zhao Chun said, I'll explain to them. When the time comes, we can sell them more Xianglong-class interstellar ships at a discount. Intervening without sending troops, just providing weapons and equipment, is Zhao Chun's plan. He believes that with this help, whether it's the mechanical race or the angel race, they can hold out for 3 months. After 3 months, not only will the quarterly mission be completed, but Zhao Chun's Xianglong Legion will also be mostly rested and ready. In its prime, the Xianglong Legion will launch a swift attack to conquer the demon race. That is Zhao Chen's plan. The two kings of angels contacted Zhao Chen again. After some discussion, they agreed with the Lord's suggestion. "We are willing to launch an attack," said the Holy Angel King, announcing their decision. Zhao Chen expected this. Once they understood the pros and cons, the two angel kings wouldn't miss this rare chance to regain lost territory. However, the War Angel King then asked, "And what are the plans for the Xianglong Legion?" This was a predictable question. After last year's battle, the angel race clearly saw the strength of the Xianglong Legion. Although their fleet was small now, it was still a force not to be underestimated, especially those T5 class interstellar battleships. Zhao Chen honestly replied, "Within 3 months, our Xianglong Legion needs to reorganize and rest, so we can't participate in the upcoming military actions." Hearing Zhao Chen's words, the faces of the two angel kings clearly changed a little. You are advising others to start military actions, but you are not participating yourself. Anyone would have some thoughts about that. I understand what you two are thinking. Although my Shadow Dragon Legion will not take part in any military actions for the next 3 months, we will support our allies in another way. First, regarding the current military purchase orders, if you need, we can triple the amount, and the price will be reduced by 20%. Additionally, we will open some sales of T5 interstellar warships. For example, the T5 Lightning Phantom class heavy assault interstellar cruiser and the T5 Chaos Knight class heavily armed assault interstellar destroyer. Zhao Chen offered his benefits. The angel race has always been interested in the Shadow Dragon's T5 interstellar warships. This change made the two angel kings feel a bit conflicted again. "Please wait a moment." The Holy Angel King interrupted the communication again. "Will they agree?" Lilith, curious, asked beside him. "They will agree. If it's just about increasing military orders and offering discounts, they might hesitate. But if it's about purchasing rights for T5 interstellar warships, they definitely won't miss out. After all, with the intensifying cosmic wars now, everyone knows how important T5 interstellar warships are on the battlefield. The Demon race, with just 2 nearly T6 interstellar warships leading, took down 2 mechanical ray stargates. It's clear how strategic these high-level interstellar warships are in battle." Zhao Chen's eyes were deep, as if he saw through everything. This time, the wait was even shorter. Soon, the two angel kings on the other side reconnected. "May I ask, are there any restrictions on selling T5 interstellar warships? And are they all sold at an 80% discount?" The Holy Angel King asked. "There is no limit on the quantity, as long as the money is enough. Of course, the condition is that we have the available quantity," Zhao Chen said. "The price of the T5 interstellar battleship is very high, and we all know how much profit margin there is. Your Excellency Lord, since we are now allies, why not offer a better price? How about selling the T5 series at half price?" The King of War Angels asked Zhao Chen. It seemed that the two had already discussed and were trying to negotiate a better deal. Zhao Chen showed a thoughtful and hesitant expression, then finally said, "I can sell the T5 series interstellar battleships at half price. But I can't guarantee that all of them are brand new ships. However, in terms of overall performance, I can assure you they are 90% new." This clearly meant he would sell them second-hand ships. "Then it's settled," the King of War Angels agreed without hesitation. The Holy Angel King also nodded. From this point, a 3-month short-term agreement was reached. The Angel Clan would launch military actions against the Demon Clan, and the Xianglong Galaxy Interstellar Group would increase military purchase orders and supply, as well as the sales rights for T5 interstellar battleships. "We want to purchase 10 T5 Lightning Ghost Heavy Assault Interstellar Cruisers and 30 T5 Chaos Knight Heavy Assault Interstellar Destroyers, all to be delivered within a month. Can we do that?" The King of War Angels asked excitedly. Based on the agreed 50% discount for the T5 series, the price for each T5 Lightning Ghost Cruiser would be as low as 300 billion star coins. The price for each T5 Chaos Knight Destroyer would be as low as 200 billion star coins. This huge military order would total a staggering 9 trillion billion star coins. This is definitely the largest military order in the history of the Angel Clan, no doubt about it. To put it in perspective, during their peak years, the Angel Clan's annual output was only about 3 trillion star coins. This order alone equals 3 years of their total annual output. Zhao Chen clenched his jaw but kept his expression steady. He looked at the other person and said, "The payment is in place. The starship is yours. 10 days from now, on the Angel Clan's side, at the Star Harbor. The payment worth 900 million trillion stars has been prepared," the King of War Angels declared confidently. "As I said before, once the payment is received, the starship is yours," Zhao Chen replied. "Deal," the other party agreed. They then briefly discussed other matters, and the communication ended. Zhao Chen turned around and saw Lilith behind him, her eyes sparkling with excitement. 900 million trillion stars. Lilith muttered to herself. "If I remember correctly, our Shadow Dragon Legion currently has 1,000 T5 interstellar warships, right? Let's sell some of these used T5 starships to them. 2 models at half price. It's a small profit for a big sale. This way, we can use the money to greatly expand our fleet," Zhao Chen said with a smile, looking at Lilith. This deal would make the Shadow Dragon Legion much stronger. Within half a year, they wouldn't have any trouble with raw materials for production. At the same time, this military order would boost the Angel Clan's current military strength. Because the Demon Clan has nearly T6 interstellar warships, and relying only on their current T5 ships, the Angels might be at a disadvantage. Providing them with Shadow Dragon T5 starships would give them a big help in battle. But I don't understand why the Demon Clan suddenly started producing near T6 starships. It's so strange. There was no sign or warning before, Lilith guessed. Maybe the mechanical god cult helped them, Zhao Chen said. "Tell Charlotte to organize a tight search with stealth reconnaissance ships inside the Demon Clan territory, especially tracking the movement of raw materials and supplies." Zhao Chen then contacted Yin from the mechanical clan. At this moment, Yin's face was no longer the cold, robotic expression it had before. Instead, her human-like eyes showed signs of anger and tension. These mechanical beings are really starting to look more and more like real living creatures. "The Demon Clan launched an invasion against you and directly controlled your 2 stargates. They even threatened your royal palace," Zhao Chen said straightforwardly. "If you're mocking me, I admit that everything you said has been confirmed," Yin replied, sounding somewhat angry and embarrassed. Not long ago, she had confidently told Zhao Chen that the Demon Clan could not invade the Mechanical Clan. Now, their fleet has arrived outside their royal palace, which is a clear slap in the face. "I didn't mean to mock you. I just want you to hear my ally's opinion. If you had followed my advice earlier, strengthening defenses and staying alert to the Demon Clan, these things might not have happened. Isn't that right?" Zhao Chen spread his hands and asked. Yin didn't respond. Zhao Chen didn't want to argue further. He looked at her and asked, "How are your current situations?" Yin looked at Zhao Chen and this time didn't act proud. Both stargates have fallen and are now under Demon Clan control. At the same time, the Demon Clan plans to deploy over 1 million interstellar warships to attack our royal palace. Their offensive is very fast. Some demon legions have already begun attacking the outskirts of our palace. We only have 300,000 troops stationed there, but we are pulling in more fleets from nearby to support us. For now, there are no major problems. I heard that you attacked 2 stargates and sent support to your palace, deploying a total of 2 million interstellar warships. May I ask, do your mechanical clan only have these warships?" Zhao Chen asked in a serious tone. "What do you mean?" Yin replied in return. "The number of starships a galactic force has is a top secret." She couldn't possibly tell Zhao Chen just because he asked. Moreover, this is a very sensitive time. Currently, it is known that the demon race has mobilized 2 million starships, dividing their forces into 2 routes. One route attacks the angel race, and the other targets your royal court. But I suspect that the real goal of the demon race is your royal court. And the military strength they've mobilized is definitely more than what is publicly known. So, I suggest you mobilize as many starships as possible. Otherwise, you might suffer a big loss, Zhao Chen warned. Because of the system's mission, Zhao Chen has reason to believe that the demon race's military actions could be beyond what they expect. "We will make arrangements based on the actual situation," Yin said. "Are you still unable to contact your master?" Zhao Chen guessed that the other side still held some resentment towards him, making it uncertain whether they would really do as he suggested. He could only hope that the little girl would help. At least, she was quite easy to communicate with. "You're asking too many questions," Yin's eyes turned cold. This robot really is unhelpful. Whoever designed her system, couldn't they make it more considerate? If there are any sudden situations in your battle, feel free to contact me, Zhao Chen finally said. That concluded the communication. He did everything he could to remind and warn. If it weren't for the system's mission hanging over him, Zhao Chen could have just watched the fight unfold. But why has the little girl not appeared for so long? What is she doing? Why does Zhao Chen feel so uneasy? Mechanical Race Royal Court, what's the situation now? Ayin returned to the command room and asked as she watched Ajin, who was busy with the deployment. Ajin replied, currently, over 200,000 demon starships are attacking our royal court's outer defenses on the front line. There are no signs of the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starships. Our defenses are holding for now. At the same time, the reinforcements we dispatched can reach the royal court within half an hour to strengthen the defenses. Additionally, the fleets attacking the two stargates can each reach the battlefield within 10 hours. But we cannot be sure when we will retake or destroy the stargates. Ayin remembered what the Lord Man had just told her. After a moment of hesitation, she warned, the demon race has launched a big attack on us this time. Since they dare to do this, it shows they have confidence. Besides some cultists of the mechanical god religion causing trouble, I suspect the demon army's strength may have increased somehow. So I suggest we strengthen our surveillance inside the demon territory and further increase the number of our mechanical fleet ships. Listening to Ayin's warning, Ajin said, I thought of these things too. But right now, our mechanical territory has only about 3 million starships in total. Those industrial bases and resource zones all need fleet protection. Mobilizing 2 million starships to fight the demon race is already close to our limit. At most, we can send an additional 500,000 starships to support the battlefield, but only as a last resort. We shouldn't move them easily before the final moment. Ayin fell silent, knowing that Ajin's words were true. This is the current situation of the mechanical race. If the demon race dares to offend us before our master leaves, we will make sure that all those demon starships that enter our territory never return, Ajin said angrily. Enemies have chosen this moment to invade us, which shows the mechanical god religion has already infiltrated our high ranks. Additionally, they are secretly collaborating with the demon clan. We must not take this crisis lightly. Otherwise, if there are any losses, we will have no good explanation when the master returns, Silver reminded. Ajin nodded and said to Silver, I understand. I will prepare to go personally to the royal court's defense line to take charge of the command. You should stay here and continue to guard this place. No matter what, ensure the safety of the royal court. I will also hold off the demon starship fleet's attack. Absolutely will not let any demon starship enter. Silver nodded heavily, trusting the other's words. Right now, all they can do is fight the demons fiercely and wait for the master's return. Galactic Calendar, April 1st, 3036 Quarterly Mission, Battle of Allies Mission Details. Ensure that the losses of allies do not exceed a certain amount. Requirement 1. The Angel Race's starships lost must not exceed 1 million. Requirement 2. The Mechanical Race's starships lost must not exceed 1.5 million. Reward: 10,000 mission points. This quarter's mission appeared very on time. It was almost the first to refresh, creating a rare scene where 2 quarterly missions existed at the same time. 10,000 mission points? Zhao Chen was a bit surprised. It seems this quarter's mission is specifically designed to give mission points. Zhao Chen then opened the system options he had glanced at once before, never looking at again. T6 shop unlock requirements. Zhao Chen's T5 shop has been open for a long time, and that's why he never mentioned upgrading to a T6 shop. That first glance made him feel that the requirement was unattainable. T6 shop mission 1. The host's account must have 10,000 mission points. Mission 2. The host system points must reach 1 billion. Task 3. The host, Xiaolong Legion, currently has 500,000 active combat starships. Task 4. The host, Xiaolong Galactic Group, has 2 million auxiliary starships. Task 5. The host's, Xiaolong Galactic Group, monthly output reaches 10 trillion star coins. Task 6. Launch a limited-time shop mission. If not completed within the time, the shop mission will restart in 1 year. The conditions to unlock level 6 shop correspond exactly to 6 shop tasks. Among these, The task related to monthly output was already achieved by Zhao Chen last year, thanks to Lilith, the housekeeper, reaching a monthly output of 10 trillion star coins. Besides the limited time shop task, the other 5 tasks were previously beyond Zhao Chen's reach. Zhao Chen saw hope. If he completes this quarterly task, he will earn 10,000 task points, fulfilling task 1. Completing task 2 is just a matter of time, as Zhao Chen's passive income now exceeds 200 million system points each month. With the expansion of the Xiaolong fleet, this passive income will only grow. Task 3 requires 500,000 combat starships. Currently, the Xiaolong Legion's active combat starships, combined with the losses from the 10 veteran fleet groups and the new ships being built for the Xiaolong Legion, plus the plan to establish a new Xiaolong Legion every 2 months, can be achieved within 6 months to a year. Task 4 requires 2 million auxiliary starships. This plan is based on the Xiaolong Galactic Group's territory. Zhao Chen previously asked Lilith about this. The numbers are similar. As the 10 star zones develop, the use of auxiliary starships will increase, making this goal achievable. It seems everything is ready, except for the shop task. However, this shop task is limited time. It probably won't be very short, right? Zhao Chen is a bit worried. The system then provided a prompt. The time limit for the mall's limited time tasks usually won't be less than 6 months. This duration is quite good, as it roughly matches the time needed to complete the other tasks mentioned earlier. Moreover, 6 months gives Zhao Chen enough time to prepare and respond. Then let's start. Zhao Chen decided firmly and immediately began the mall's limited time task. The original warning message in the 6th mall task line began to fade, replaced by new text. Task 6. Enter the Gaia Gate inside the Mechanical Clan's palace. Zhao Chen squinted. He had never heard of this before, but he could make a rough guess. From what the little girl from the Mechanical Clan told him earlier, the former Gaia Empire had contact with an external world, which must have a passage. Since the Mechanical Clan is a remnant of the Gaia Empire, they would be responsible for guarding this passage. So, the Gaia Gate is probably the passage to the outside world. This task isn't hard in itself, but the difficulty lies in how to do it, whether the Mechanical Clan will allow Zhao Chen to use it, and whether there are dangers on the other side. The real challenge is the unknown. 6 months. That girl should be back by then. I'll discuss it with her when she returns. It's just a gate. They probably won't stop me from going through. And according to our agreement, once I deal with the Demon Clan, we will be allies. That shouldn't be a big problem, Zhao Chen thought to himself. It seems that everything hinges on the Demon Clan. The Demon Clan, huh? Looks like I don't just dislike you. Even heavens will seems to be against you. Once the quarterly task deadline from last month is over, it will be time for me to seriously compete with you. Zhao Chen stretched lazily. Right now, he felt quite good. After all, there's hope to unlock Tier 6 in the mall. Tier 6 technology is a leading force in this universe. By then, Zhao Chen wouldn't need to worry anymore. You can retire comfortably and enjoy yourself now. In the dark space, there are no visible stars, only light coming from burning interstellar warships of the mechanical race. A huge mechanical-style interstellar warships bridge. A tall woman dressed in black military uniform sits on the captain's chair. Report, the enemy's attack this round has ended. We have destroyed all of the enemy's interstellar warships. But we also lost nearly 500,000 warships, a subordinate reports to her. The woman speaks coldly, as if she is used to these losses. Clear the battlefield, repair the usable warships. Disassemble the unusable ones on the spot for parts. No need to say more. She stands up and slowly walks to a window on the bridge, gazing into the distance. Her special eyes allow her to see beyond what deep space telescopes can detect. There are rows of damaged mechanical race warships. Those that are still in good condition are being dragged by transport ships to the rear for repairs. Many others are being disassembled right where they are. Valuable parts are loaded onto transport ships heading to the base. The rest are pushed onto long, black buildings. There are many such buildings spread across the area, with no end in sight at either end. They look like a black steel wall. This scenery is really ugly, the woman mutters coldly. Throughout April, the demon race launched an unprecedented attack on the mechanical race. Using 2 stargates captured at the start of the war, they sent over 2 million demon warships to the battlefield outside the Mechanical King's court. Of these, 1 million were lost in the fight. In addition, the demon race's interstellar warships responsible for guarding 2 stargates lost 300,000 ships. Despite this, the demon race continues to send new demon ships into the mechanical race's territory. Rumors say that within the demon territory, there has been a mobilization of 1 million demon interstellar warships. This month, to defend against the demon attack, the mechanical fleet lost nearly 1 million ships. Originally, the mechanical ships were better than the demon ships, but the demon race now has nearly T6 class heavy warships that perform unexpectedly well on the battlefield, causing great pressure and losses for the mechanical fleet. Meanwhile, on the Angel side, they launched a proactive attack on the demon battlefield, and the fighting is very fierce. As Lord Shilong predicted, when the Angel fleet attacked, the demon fleet in that area adopted a defensive strategy with their 1 million ships. Over the past month, the Angels lost 300,000 ships, while the demons lost 500,000 ships. The Angel fleet continues to attack and has recaptured several star systems. The most effective weapon in this effort has been the 40 T5 interstellar warships sold by the Shilong Galaxy Interstellar Group to the Angels. After acquiring these ships, the Angels decided to assign all 40 T5 ships to the Holy Dragon Angel Corps, the most elite Angel fleet, directly under the command of Angel Talia. This greatly strengthened the Holy Dragon Angel Corps and enhanced their battlefield role. Currently, the Holy Dragon Angel Corps, having just finished a local war mission, has retreated to the rear for rest and regrouping. While organizing recent battle intelligence data, Angel Talia received an urgent message. She saw a hologram of the King of the Holy Angels. "Your Majesty, Angel Talia," she immediately saluted. "There's an unexpected situation on the northern battlefield. The demon race has sent a fleet of 300,000 interstellar warships. The situation there is getting out of control. We need support," the King of the Holy Angels said seriously. Angel Talia frowned slightly. She replied, "The Holy Dragon Angel Legion just finished a battle. According to our rules, they usually keep 30% of their ammunition in reserve during a mission. They still need some time to rest. If it's just 300,000 demon interstellar ships, the northern battlefield should still hold for a while. Didn't we also assign many Xuanlong-class ships to them? Currently, Xuanlong-class ships are not only assigned to the Holy Dragon Angel Legion, but are also appearing in other angel fleets, with their numbers increasing. The 2 Angel Kings are aware of the danger this situation poses to the angel race, but the combat ability of Xuanlong-class ships is truly excellent. Angel commanders who have piloted or commanded these ships are very fascinated by them. These Xianlong ships seem to have some kind of magic power. Once encountered, they are unforgettable. Other types of interstellar ships no longer attract their interest. Even their own angelic ships are often criticized by fleet commanders at various levels. The King of the Holy Angels looked unhappy as he said, "Because we discovered that among these 300,000 demon ships, there is a rumored quasi-T6 destroyer-class heavy starship." Hearing this, Angel Talia's expression also changed. There have been many rumors about the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship. So far, 3 such ships have appeared on the mechanical side's battlefield, and none have been lost yet. This shows how strong their control is in battle. "I understand. Give me 3 hours, and I will lead the Holy Dragon Angel Corps to support," said Angel Talia seriously, with a fierce look in her eyes. She was ready to use her elite interstellar ships to fight the strongest nearly T6 interstellar battleships of the enemy. For most starship commanders, this was the most desired challenge. "Remember, your Holy Dragon Angel Corps is very important to us. We can't afford heavy losses. If things go wrong, your team should withdraw from the battlefield immediately. At worst, we will give up the northern battlefield. We've already gained enough advantages," warned the Holy Angel King. "Understood, my lord." "Rest assured," replied Angel Talia. The Holy Angel King nodded and ended the communication. Angel Talia looked at her bridge crew and gave orders. "Immediately gather all nearby star supply ships and industrial ships to prioritize providing supplies and repairs for our fleet. If anyone asks, say it's for our Holy Dragon Angel Corps mission. You have 2 hours. We must restore the entire Holy Dragon Angel Corps' combat strength to at least 70%. Can you do it? Her gaze swept over her subordinates. Mission accepted. After the order, the Holy Dragon Angel Corps began preparing for action. The senior commanders also learned about this, knowing that the Corps was about to face the strongest, nearly T6 demon fleet. This made all the Angel commanders feel excited and full of fighting spirit. Those Angel fleet ships that were originally on repair and supply missions suddenly saw the interstellar supply ship, which had been serving them just moments before, withdraw abruptly to join the distant Holy Dragon Angel Legion. This made the fleet captains feel a bit annoyed. Although the Holy Dragon Angel Legion is very strong now, they shouldn't be so overbearing, right? However, when they learned that the Holy Dragon Angel Legion was heading to fight against the Demon Clan's T6 interstellar battleship, their eyes showed envy and admiration. They said nothing more. Zhao Chun closed the information window in front of him. He looked at Lilith and asked, "You just said that the Holy Dragon Angel Legion will go to support the Angel Clan on the battlefield against the Demon Clan, fighting 30,000 Demon Clan interstellar battleships. They will also face a T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship?" "Yes, that's the latest news we received. On the battlefield between the Angel Clan and the Demon Clan, the Angels have gained the advantage. To prevent the situation from worsening, the Demon Clan has had to send reinforcements. Among them is a T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship," Lilith replied. "Is there any of our stealth reconnaissance ships nearby the battlefield?" Zhao Chen asked immediately. "There is one. I've ordered it to approach the battlefield and record the combat situation, then broadcast it back." Lilith naturally guessed what the commander wanted and shared her plan. "Let it go," Zhao Chun said with interest. The combat data of the T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship had already been collected at the battlefield of the Mechanical Clan's royal court. However, so far, there had been no recorded encounters between the Xianglong-type interstellar battleships and the T6 destroyer-class heavy battleship. The Holy Dragon Angel Legion led by Angel Tilia, equipped entirely with Xianglong interstellar battleships, along with 40 new T5 interstellar battleships, could definitely be considered a small Xianglong fleet. Observing this battle is very helpful for understanding the future fight between the Sky Dragon Legion and the Demon Race, especially against the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starship. Soon, a scene appeared before Zhao Chun. It was a battlefield where fighting had already broken out. The two sides were the Angel Race fleet and the Demon Race fleet. Lilith began explaining to Zhao Chun, "This is a local battlefield. Before this, there were 200,000 Angel starships and 100,000 Demon starships here. The Angels had the advantage and a chance to turn it into victory. At this moment, the Demon side sent in an additional 300,000 Demon starships. This greatly changed the strength of both sides. The Angels responded accordingly. They dispatched 30,000 starships of the Holy Dragon Angel Legion to this battlefield, along with another 100,000 starships from an Angel fleet to support. So, in terms of numbers alone, the Angels had 330,000 starships, while the Demons had 400,000 starships. The Demon side regained the advantage in numbers and also had a nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starship. But the Angels had the Holy Dragon Angel Legion, so no one could be sure of the battle's outcome, Lilith said. At this moment, another voice came from beside Zhao Chun. "This local battle will influence the future direction of the Angel and Demon battlefield. There are only 3 possible results: victory, defeat, or draw." A whitetail reached out and brushed Zhao Chen's neck. "If the Angels win, they will draw a large portion of the Demon's forces into this fight. The Demon Race will have to choose. Either continue sending more fleets, which will reduce their forces in the Mechanical Race battlefield, or face the consequences. And if something unexpected happens to that nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starship during the battle, the Demon Race will pay a very high price." The two sides are now in a tug-of-war, which will likely require a lot of time to resolve. As for what happens next, it depends on whether both sides still have enough troops to fight, and if their logistics support holds up. The Angel Race has lost. This means their plan to push back and reclaim territory will fall apart, and even the star systems they previously took will be lost again. If, during this process, the Holy Dragon Angel Legion suffers heavy losses or is completely defeated, then the angel race won't be able to fight back for at least half a year. Zhao Chen looked at Charlotte, who had come to stand beside him. Charlotte was giving him a resentful look. "Why are you here?" Zhao Chen asked, as if he already knew the answer. "I want to ask when the Shadow Dragon Legion can join the fight. Whether it's on the angel side or the mechanical side, anywhere is fine. I'm almost going crazy waiting," Charlotte said impatiently. "Crazy? Didn't she just say a few days ago that it wasn't allowed?" Zhao Chen looked confused. Charlotte blushed and glared at Zhao Chen angrily. Lilith was standing nearby, covering her mouth and giggling. Since their identities became known, Zhao Chen has been more open in private chats, especially teasing Charlotte in front of Lilith. Charlotte, though fierce at times, always seems to have no way to deal with Zhao Chen in these moments. Zhao Chen reached out and touched Charlotte's tail, which seemed to have a mind of its own, flicking and dodging as he tried to pet it. "For now, we won't send the Shadow Dragon Legion into battle. Right now, we need to rebuild our fleet, recover the starships lost in last year's campaign, and improve the overall strength of our Shadow Dragon Legion. As for when we will strike, I will let you know then," Zhao Chen explained. He naturally couldn't say directly that it was because of the existence of a mission reward. He could only give a mysterious feeling, letting Charlotte and Lilith guess. Lilith had no objections. In her view as a secretary, the current situation was the best. They could watch the battle from afar and keep providing military orders to the angel race, continuously benefiting from this old interstellar power. Charlotte also did not disobey Zhao Chen's orders. However, she was very playful. Every time she met Zhao Chen privately, she would ask, "Humph." Charlotte pulled her tail back from Zhao Chen's hand. If he wanted to touch her tail, fine, but he kept gently sliding his finger on it and blowing on it a few times. Did he not know that was her most sensitive spot? Seeing his toy gone, Zhao Chen could only focus his gaze back on the scene in front of him. "So, tell me," Zhao Chen asked, "how much chance does the Holy Dragon Angel Legion have to win this battle? And can the T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship, the Angel Tilia, handle it?" Anyone with eyes could see that the key to this battle was the Holy Dragon Angel Legion and that T6 destroyer-class battleship. Although the Holy Dragon Angel Legion could be called a small Falcon Dragon Legion, it was not a true Falcon Dragon Legion. Its combat strength was far less than that of the Real Falcon Dragon Legion. The T3 Judgment-class heavy interstellar missile ships they used were very cautious, needing to consider the overall situation. Initially, the battle lasted 5 hours. The Holy Dragon Angel Legion's regular starships all participated, relying on 30,000 ships to fight against several times their enemy's fleet. Meanwhile, 40 T5 starships remained stationary at the back of the formation. It was as if they were waiting for something. The T6 destroyer-class heavy battleship in the enemy demon fleet was at the core of their fleet, but had not entered the combat range. Both sides seemed to be holding their breath. They are also guessing each other's plans. Right now, it's about which regular military fleet is stronger and who can hold out first. The battle has lasted 10 hours. Because of the consumption of interstellar missiles and some T3 Judicator-class heavy interstellar missile ships needing to reload, the firepower support for the Angel race's fleet is gradually decreasing. This directly causes the overall situation on the battlefield to shift in favor of the demon race. "Something's happening." Charlotte chewed on her lamb meat and tossed the bamboo skewer into a nearby bucket. "It's about time for some change. If we keep fighting like this, it's getting boring," Zhao Chen yawned, having just taken a nap. However, the expected change doesn't seem very obvious. Only 5 T5 Lightning Ghost-class heavy assault interstellar cruisers have arrived to support the front lines, suppressing the demon fleet gradually. After 20 hours of battle, the remaining 5 T5 Lightning Ghost-class heavy assault cruisers also joined the fight, battling the demon starships side by side. Those demons really know how to hold back. One nearly T6 starship just stands there like a mascot, Lilith said, munching sunflower seeds and yawning bored. During this time, they handle their own tasks and come back to watch when they have free time. But both sides are very cautious in their fighting. Honestly, it's not very fun. If it were me, I'd fire a round of interstellar missiles to cover everything, then send the T5 cruisers to attack and surround that nearly T6 starship to take it down, Zhao Wanner said, biting into a chicken drumstick. She reported her work on the Dragon Emperor ship, and, seeing her older brother here watching the show, naturally sat down to enjoy this rare leisure time. Don't forget who your comrades are. Look at who your allies are in the Holy Dragon Angel Corps. If we follow your plan and our attack is repelled, those T5 interstellar warships that go deep behind enemy lines, even our Xiongling-class ships, won't be able to escape without paying a price. The demon race isn't fools. They are also wary of those T5 interstellar warships. When they fought us before, they collected a lot of information about us. They are using that nearly T6 interstellar warship to fish for us. Zhao Chen looked at his sister and lightly tapped her on the head. You need to improve your big-picture thinking, or else I can't plan a whole fleet for you to command. Zhao Wanner held her head, stuck out her tongue, and said, I don't want to command any fleet. My stealth bomber fleet is enough. At that moment, Zhao Wanner's handheld device flashed. She opened it, and a chat window appeared. Zhao Chen glanced at it and almost spat out his drink. Because the person chatting with Zhao Wanner wasn't someone else, it was Annie. And out of 10 messages, 7 were teasing Zhao Chen, which Zhao Wanner enjoyed very much. Why are you teasing your brother with an outsider? Zhao Chen poked her cheek with his claw. Hee. It's to help Annie relieve her stress. I'm doing this for our Xiongling Legion. Brother, you should praise me, Zhao Wanner said with a mischievous look, finding an excuse. Zhao Chen rolled his eyes, but didn't really mind this small matter. Just then, a video call request popped up on the chat window. This made Zhao Wanner panic. Zhao Chen watched nearby, acting like he's enjoying the show, because he noticed that Zhao Wanner told Annie she was working. If the video call started now, Zhao Wanner's activities of eating, drinking, and having fun in Zhao Chen's presence would be exposed. Zhao Wanner quickly wiped the oil from her mouth, found a spot near the wall, and turned on a device that blocked surrounding sounds before answering the communication. Big Sister Wanner, why did it take so long for you to answer my call? On the video screen, Annie was holding a cup of instant noodles. Why are you eating instant noodles again? Zhao Wanner saw the noodles in Annie's hand and frowned. No matter how busy you are, you can't keep eating this all the time. You should at least have the cafeteria send you some proper meals. It's fine. I'm okay like this. I'm very busy right now and can't leave my workstation. Eating this is good enough. Please don't tell your brother, Annie said with a sad look, holding the noodle cup, but her expression was reassuring. No, I have to criticize my brother for this. You're the chief engineer of our squadron, but you shouldn't be overworking you like this. You deserve proper benefits too. Zhao Wanner looked angry and determined. The two looked like close sisters, constantly joking around. Zhao Wanner seemed determined to distance herself from Zhao Chen, who was exploiting her. Wanner, the big beef leg you asked for earlier. I added a lot of cumin. It will be really tasty. Suddenly, a large beef leg, twice the size of Zhao Wanner's head, appeared in the video frame. For a moment, it felt like everything was silent. Ah, you're chatting with Annie. Sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. But hurry up and come eat. If you don't, everything on the table will get cold. Under Zhao Wanner's fierce gaze, Zhao Chen smirked and left with the big beef leg. All that was left was Zhao Wanner looking awkwardly at Annie across the screen. Annie, if I say, I just happened to come here by chance. With all the lobster and crab yolk in her instant noodles, there were no noodles left. Can it still taste good? Annie, which board game should we play later? On the other end of Annie's video window, several companions' voices could be heard talking. Suddenly, the atmosphere between the two became very awkward. Ahem. I have some things to take care of, one said. Me too. I need to attend to something, the other replied. The awkward video call ended. Zhao Wanner angrily and shyly approached Zhao Chen, punching his shoulder. Why did you do that? Zhao Chen burst out laughing. At this moment, the scene on the battlefield broadcast changed significantly. 20 T5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starships began advancing on the front lines. Opposite them, a nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starship started moving, slowly entering the range of fire. This is the opportunity the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy starship has been waiting for. On the front lines, the Holy Dragon Angel Legion's 30 T5 starships each have their own missions, leaving only 10 T5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starships available for deployment. The captain of the nearly T6 destroyer believes he can handle the 10 T5 Chaos Knight starships, which is why he chose to act now. First, Eliminate the 10 T5 Chaos Knight starships. Then look for chances to target the remaining T5 starships, Lilith analyzed as she watched the scene. But I think this might be a trap set by Angel Tilia, Charlotte said, biting into a fruit. Zhao Chun rubbed his chin and said calmly, if this really is a trap, then Tilia's courage is growing. She isn't planning to fight a prolonged war with the enemy. She's focused on that nearly T6 destroyer, aiming to destroy it in this battle. By doing so, she hopes to secure the advantage for the angels on the battlefield against the demons. Her vision is very grand. Lilith understood the meaning behind the words and muttered, the idea is good, but whether she has such strong teeth depends on her own ability. Zhao Qin smiled as he watched the changes in the battle scene on the screen. Since the quasi-T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship joined the fight, within its firing range, it is considered a dominant force. Just one main cannon shot from its bow directly shattered a distant T4-level interstellar battleship and its star shield. At the same time, its main gun, secondary guns, and interstellar missiles all fired, making its firepower comparable to a moving star fortress. Charlotte raised her hand and occasionally clicked on the model of the interstellar battleship in front of her, as if editing something. Zhao Qin glanced at it and saw that the model was the same quasi-T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship from the scene. The edits she was making were about the ship's data, especially its weapon modules. Although they had already received some combat intelligence from the mechanical race about this type of ship, Charlotte seemed to want to make further adjustments. Under Charlotte's observation, the data for this quasi-T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship became clearer. Zhao Qin looked at a few key data points. Main cannon, an energy-based electromagnetic cannon, capable of destroying a T5 Empire Steel Fist-class heavy interstellar battleship with full star shields in one shot, with a long range. Minimum firing interval is 5 minutes. 4 main guns, energy-based main cannons, capable of destroying a T4-level starship with full star shields in one shot, with a 5-minute firing interval and medium range. 25 medium-caliber electromagnetic cannons, firing solid shells, with long range but less power. 4 medium to close-range weapons. There are 500 rapid-fire laser guns, with medium range, fast firing rate, and moderate power. This is mainly aimed at medium and close-range enemy ships, as well as interstellar fighters and other targets. It has 1,300 automatic 6-barrel closed defense guns. There are also 50 missile launchers, equipped with about 3,000 interstellar missiles, mostly medium and long-range types. How do you feel about this near T6 destroyer? Zhao Qin asked Charlotte, noticing her slight frown, out of curiosity. Charlotte gently pursed her lips and brought up data on 2 other interstellar warships. These were the T5 King of Darkness from the Falcon Legion and the T5 Holy Redeemer-class heavy interstellar armored battleship. She pointed to some data points and said, this near T6 destroyer. How should I say it? If we compare only firepower, the King of Darkness isn't as strong as it. But the strategic importance of the King of Darkness lies in its 2 special weapons. Compared to the T5 Holy Redeemer, its main front cannon is more powerful, but its other regular weapons are weaker than the Holy Redeemer. However, I don't know the cost of this near T6 destroyer or its internal energy system. From a firepower perspective, it seems like a smaller version of the King of Darkness sword, combining features of both the King of Darkness and the Holy Redeemer, without considering the King of Darkness's domain. Charlotte's analysis was a bit complex, but Zhao Qin understood her point. Then, if you had to face this near T6 destroyer, how many starships would you need? Zhao Qin asked. Charlotte raised her hand and stroked her chin. If I could use the King of Darkness and get the first strike, 1 King of Darkness would be enough. Even if I didn't win, I wouldn't lose. But if I couldn't use the King of Darkness, I would need 1 T5 Holy Redeemer-class heavy interstellar armored battleship and 5 T5 Frost Tyrant-class heavy interstellar missile cruisers. There is also another situation. About 5 to 10 T5 Crimson Reaper-class heavy interstellar missile ships, with concentrated firepower, can take down targets without any other losses besides the missiles themselves. After hearing this, Zhao Wanner pouted and said, so, it seems this nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship isn't that impressive. Zhao Chun and Charlotte exchanged a glance and smiled silently. The reason Zhao Wan'er felt this way is mainly because the Xianglong-type interstellar warships are already quite advanced within the T5 level. The gap between them and the nearly T6 level isn't very large. 10 T5 Chaos Knights are moving, Lilith announced. Zhao Chen looked at the video window. Finally, the last 10 T5 Chaos Knight class heavily armed assault interstellar destroyers, led by Angel Tilia, started to move. They formed a fan shape and headed toward the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy battleship. It seemed the nearly T6 battleship had anticipated this attack. It immediately aimed its bow cannon at one of the T5 Chaos Knight-class destroyers. A long-prepared energy shell was fired. A bright impact flash filled the view. The targeted T5 Chaos Knight star shield was hit, and after a few seconds, the shield shattered into pieces. The energy shell struck the hull. Report: T5 Chaos Knight class heavy assault interstellar destroyer ST-04. Star shield broken. Hull severely damaged. Unable to continue fighting. Rescue operations are underway. The deputy hurriedly reported to Angel Tilia. Angel Tilia watched the burning T5 Chaos Knight still on the screen. She was not surprised by this development. To deal with the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship in front of us, we will need to pay a certain price. Previously, we learned that the T5 Empire Steel Fist-class heavy interstellar battleship of the mechanical race was destroyed by a single main gunshot from the T6 destroyer-class battleship. The T5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starship only lost its combat ability. If it manages to survive until the end of the war, there might still be a chance to return for repairs. This shows how excellent the starship from the Dragon of the Sky is. Execute the Angel Hunt plan, said Angel Tilia, seeing that the prey was hooked. She decisively gave the order. The order was passed to the entire Holy Dragon Angel Legion. The 9 remaining T5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starships, which aimed to surround the nearly T6 destroyer, suddenly accelerated and approached it. From 9 directions, they formed a kind of 9 chains, balancing the beast. Within the Holy Dragon Angel Legion's position, a T4 Hell Angel-class heavy interstellar missile ship activated all its missile systems. Then, a barrage of interstellar missiles spread out like a shower of flowers, sweeping toward the surrounding area. These missiles were not aimed at the nearly T6 destroyer itself. Instead, they targeted the battlefield where 30 T5 starships had entered the fight. With the support of these missiles, the pressure on the 30 T5 starships eased, and they immediately started to retreat at full speed. The demon starships, which had been suppressed by the missiles for a while, looked at their target, which they had been delaying, and tried to retreat. Of course, they would not let this happen easily. They prepared to entangle the enemy again. At this moment, the fully prepared Holy Dragon Angel Legion fleet charged forward, ignoring enemy fire, to entangle the demon starships. They even risked some of their own damage to give the retreating T5 starships space to escape. The T5 interstellar warships rushed forward at full speed toward the battlefield where the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy star battleship was located. Along the way, demon starships tried to block their path, but the Holy Dragon Angel Legion protected the T5 ships at all costs. As these 30 T5 ships approached, the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy star battleship sensed their purpose and prepared to retreat. However, at that moment, the bridge of the nearly T6 ship discovered it could not move. "What's going on? Why can't we move?" shouted the demon captain. "Something's wrong. We're being affected by enemy tractor beams. The 9 T5 Chaos Knight ships are interfering with us," the officer said nervously. They suddenly remembered that the Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starship from the Xianglong Legion was equipped with this technology. "Attack those T5 Chaos Knights. Order the surrounding demon fleet to intercept the T5 starships at all costs. Also attack those Chaos Knights," the demon captain urgently commanded. He thought he was in control of the situation, but now he realized he had fallen into the enemy's trap. 5 minutes later, the nearly T6 destroyer-class ship's main gun recharged. It locked onto a T5 Chaos Knight heavy assault starship. The T5 Chaos Knight ship did not try to dodge or evade. It faced the attack directly. Its shield was shattered, the main hull exploded, and the entire starship was destroyed, losing both combat and mobility. Report: The front of Starship ST-08, a T-5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault starship, was hit. The starship lost its combat ability, communication was cut off, and the crew abandoned the ship. The number of survivors is unknown, the officer reported to Angel Talia. At all costs, hold that guy back. Angel Talia stared hard at the star map, focusing on the nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy starship. 30 T-5 starships were sent to support, but 5 of them were already entangled with the Demon fleet and found it hard to break free. So, they decided to stay and fight in place, to attract enemy fire and distract the enemy. 5 minutes later, another T-5 Chaos Knight-class heavy starship was destroyed. Only 7 T-5 Chaos Knight-class ships remained. They had to withstand the regular fire from the nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy starship and attacks from the surrounding Demon starships. One of the T-5 ship's shields was almost gone, but it still refused to retreat from its position. If its shield was destroyed, the fate of that ship was clear. The Demon starships, like hungry wolves, would tear it apart. Soon after, the star shield of that ship was destroyed, and the hull was hit repeatedly, becoming riddled with holes. Then, a shot from the front of the nearly T-6 destroyer-class starship took out another T-5 Chaos Knight ship. Now, only 5 T-5 Chaos Knight ships remained to hold back the nearly T-6 destroyer. But the beams pulling these 5 ships couldn't keep the nearly T-6 destroyer in place anymore. It began to slowly retreat backward. Those darn guys are really tough. Keep fighting and destroy them all. The Demon captain roared angrily. Oh, 3 T-5 Lightning Ghost-class heavy assault star cruisers are about to enter our battle range. In 3 minutes, 10 T-5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault star destroyers and 3 T-5 Lightning Ghost-class heavy assault star cruisers will surround us. Hearing this bad news, the Demon captain's face turned pale. A few minutes later, Angel Talia, with bloodshot eyes, stared at the star map where a nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy star battleship was surrounded in the middle by more than 10 of our T-5 starships. She coldly said, "Now, let's see where you run." Zhao Chen chewed on his chips, watching the scene where the heavily damaged starship, with no more fight left, was finally defeated. Finally over. I didn't expect this nearly T-6 destroyer to have such tough armor. After the star shield was broken, it still held on for 5 more minutes. Charlotte also updated the armor data of this nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy starship and estimated its star shield energy range. 4 T-5 Chaos Knight-class heavy assault star destroyers were destroyed directly. 2 T-5 Chaos Knights and 1 T-5 Lightning Ghost were heavily damaged, all to take down this nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy starship of the Demon race. Zhao Wanner, nibbling on a big pig's hoof, asked curiously, "Is it worth it?" Charlotte analyzed and said, "For the Holy Dragon Angel Legion and the battlefield situation involving 300,000 starships against 400,000 starships, using this kind of cost to eliminate the enemy's strongest ship, a nearly T-6 starship, is already a good result. At least, it can be considered as stabilizing the overall battle situation between the Angel and Demon races. As long as the Demon race doesn't send reinforcements later, the Angel race can basically gain the upper hand on the battlefield. Whether the advantage can turn into a winning position depends on the continued efforts of both sides. However, based on the current intensity of the battle, it will take at least a month to see the final result. After the first fierce clash on the battlefield, because they couldn't completely destroy the enemy, the intensity of fighting will decrease sharply afterward. This is why the Dragon Legion can often win a battle within 10 hours or a few days. Other interstellar forces usually need several weeks or even months to achieve victory. All right, you've seen enough. When do we plan to send troops? Charlotte stretched and asked Zhao Chen again. It's been less than a week, and there's still a long way to go before the 3-month deadline for the mission. Zhao Chen replied casually, "Just focus on training our fleet. When there's a combat mission, I will notify you immediately." "My starships are almost idle and growing moss," Charlotte said with a pout. "The Dragon Legion has been fighting for years, so they rarely get such a long break. It's been over 3 months since the last battle. Many people are a bit unhappy about such a long holiday." Zhao Chen didn't respond to Charlotte. He watched the ongoing battle scene on the screen. After destroying the nearly T-6 class heavy starship, The Holy Dragon Angel Legion didn't launch a fierce attack immediately. Instead, they pulled back their T5 starships in formation. The nearly T6 class heavy starship had already been destroyed, and because of the previous fight, the Holy Dragon Angel Legion's ships were not in good shape, and their formation was somewhat chaotic. At this moment, the initiative was in the hands of the Holy Dragon Angel Legion. There was no need to fight to the death right away, as winning could cause heavy losses to their forces. During this battle, they have already lost several T5 starships. If they lose more, Talia herself won't be able to handle it. So, the best plan is to rest and strengthen their defenses first, then look for an opportunity to launch a full attack. This is the smartest choice. For now, they just need to delay the enemy's advance. The ones who should be worried are the enemies who have lost their near T6 starships. The demon race suddenly has so many starships. There must be a secret shipbuilding factory somewhere, Zhao Chen asked. Charlotte shook her head. Lilith frowned slightly and said, "We are also confused about this. Based on our investigation, we found that a new military group has appeared within the demon race, called the Demon Group Fleet, which is considered a regular army fleet. The 6 demon legions that survived last year's battle are classified as elite fleets. From what we've observed so far, the Demon Group Fleet has over 1 million starships. They are continuously sending demon starships into the mechanical race's territory, as if endlessly. However, the stealth reconnaissance ships we've sent into the demon territory haven't found any new starship factories." Zhao Chen frowned. "How is that possible? Did you check the raw material shipments? Building starships requires a lot of raw materials. They can't just appear out of nowhere. By following this clue, we should be able to find the starship production sites." Lilith shook her head helplessly. "We tried, but within the demon territory, many star transport ships appeared. Once they enter the star gates, we can't track where they go. When these interstellar transport ships appear again, their cargo of raw materials is already gone." The new Demon-class interstellar warships also arrived directly through star gates at the Demon front lines. After forming their fleets, they were sent into the Mechanical Clan's territory. The mysterious disappearance of the interstellar transport ships and the sudden appearance of Demon-class warships out of nowhere, all of this seems very strange. We also investigated all the star gates within the Demon territory, but found nothing. Based on this, we have 2 possible conclusions. Either there are still some secret bases of the Demon Clan that we haven't found, or the Demon Clan has certain stargates connecting to even more distant star systems, beyond our search range, Lilith analyzed. Zhao Chen's heart sank. The more unknown the enemy is, the more uneasy he feels. Continue investigating this matter and find out as soon as possible where these Demon-class warships are being made. This is very important for us, Zhao Chen said seriously. Report. The front line fighting the Angel Clan has sent the latest news. One of our T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships has been destroyed. A demon officer knelt before the Demon King's throne, speaking timidly. He dared not look up at the Demon King. A person in a black robe entered the Demon King's palace. His boots stepped on red liquid, and he unhesitatingly stepped over a severed limb on the ground. "Your Majesty, why are you angry again?" The Demon King opened his eyes and looked at the black-robed man. "One of my T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships was destroyed by the enemy. The enemy only lost fewer than 10 T5 starships. This has put me at a disadvantage in the local battlefield where I am restraining the Angel Clan." The man in the black robe said, "This is normal. After all, the destroyer is not a real T6 interstellar battleship, just a quasi-T6. If it were a real T6 battleship, then not to mention a few T5 ships, even 100 T5 ships would be nothing in front of a true T6. The Demon King narrowed his eyes at the man in front of him. "From your tone, do you have a real T6 interstellar battleship? I've always said that we have everything the Demon King desires. We've been fulfilling your wishes all along," the man in black replied. "Haha, fulfilling wishes? Showing only one thing at a time. That's called fulfilling wishes? I feel like you're just tempting me to do things for you," the Demon King said, his aura strong enough to seem like he could crush the man in black. No. We prefer to call it a trade or cooperation between friends," the man in black said. The Demon King stared at him. "So, How can I get a real T6 interstellar battleship? When you fulfill our promise to destroy the mechanical race's royal court, the man in black replied. What does that mechanical race's royal court have that makes you so obsessed? The Demon King asked, pretending to see through him. There's no need for your majesty to know that, the man in black said. All you need to know is that when you break through the mechanical race's royal court, that will be the day you possess a real T6 interstellar battleship. The Demon King said coldly, I want that too. But I need more battleships, more quasi-T6 destroyers. Whether on the battlefield of the mechanical race or against the angel race, I need more ships. And remember, the Dragon Legion has yet to make a move. As long as you can provide more raw materials, we are willing to produce more battleships for you, the man in black said. I've already been sending raw materials to those 5 industrial bases every week, the Demon King said with a frown. The raw materials are enough, but some others are still far from sufficient. Moreover, you want even more interstellar warships, the man in the black robe said helplessly. The Demon King also understood what the other meant by raw materials. All right, I will meet your needs. Increase the weekly supply of interstellar warships by 30%, the Demon King said seriously. I am very willing to serve your majesty, the man in the black robe replied. Then, the man in the black robe left the palace. Several trusted demons were summoned by the Demon King. Your Majesty, what are your orders? The trusted demons were used to seeing blood and corpses in the palace. Without these things, they would be surprised. Send more raw materials to those 5-star systems, the Demon King ordered coldly. Hearing this order, one trusted demon looked worriedly at the king. Your Majesty, the farms on the planets we've cultivated can no longer meet our current demand for these raw materials. Overharvesting could cause problems in future production, he said. Then find other places, the Demon King replied sharply. We have many star systems and planets within our territory. Are we really short of these people? Those lower-level interstellar races we protect and give planets to. Now is the time for them to repay us, he said coldly. The trusted demon lowered his head and swallowed hard. Your Majesty, we have secretly collected from some remote planets recently, but this has already caused some bad rumors outside, he said. If we continue like this, it could seriously affect your reputation and control within the demon race, he warned. Impact my rule? Ha ha ha. Are you saying those inferior races dare to betray me? The Demon King sneered. Their lives are mine. For our war, sacrificing a few lives is only right. Forget about these things. Just follow my orders. The weekly supply of these raw materials has increased by 50%. If the quantity is not enough, you must find people from your own territories and tribes to make up the difference. Understood? The demon confidants dared not object further because they knew the demon lord was serious about doing this. Understood. Holy Dragon Angel Legion Angel Talia took a deep breath and sat in her captain's chair, massaging her temples. Great. We destroyed a nearly T6 class heavy starship of the demon race. This is our first time achieving such a kill. I heard that the mechanical race hasn't even destroyed a single nearly T6 class ship yet, her deputy said happily. When this achievement reaches the high leaders of the angel race, it will surely be considered a major victory. But we also paid a heavy price. We lost many T5 starships, Talia said with a serious expression. Destroying a nearly T6 class heavy starship always comes with some cost. The mechanical race has reportedly lost nearly 100 T5 starships, but hasn't destroyed even one nearly T6 ship. This shows that we are still stronger, her deputy said with a smile. The bridge was filled with joy from defeating the strongest enemy ships. Talia looked happily at her bridge. She didn't say anything more. At this moment, everyone was enjoying their victory. She looked at the star map in front of her, which covered the entire front line between the angel and demon races. After the news of destroying a nearly T6 class heavy starship spread, it would boost morale across the entire front line, giving each battlefield an advantage. In theory, the situation should be much better now. But for some reason, Talia felt uneasy inside. It was as if this war was only the beginning of something bigger. She felt a heavy weight pressing down on her, making it hard to breathe. Angel Talia looked at the wreckage of the nearly T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship in the picture. She covered her chest and muttered, "Maybe I've been too tired lately." Still, I need to find a way for the Angel King and the Longsword to buy more T5 interstellar ships. I also need to urge the Longsword Legion to join this war quickly. Remembering the powerful combat strength of the Longsword Legion, the gloom in Talia's heart seemed to lift a little. This interstellar battle involving the angels, demons, and machines was like the spark that ignited a cosmic war. As time went on, the fighting grew more intense and uncontrollable. Battles along the borders of the angel and demon clans increased from a few to over a dozen. Originally, the angels did not plan to send more troops, but as the demons kept reinforcing their forces, even the rebel fleet of the Angel King, who betrayed the angels, appeared on the battlefield. This action seemed to reopen old wounds for the angels. In response, the angels also began to send more troops. This made the situation on the battlefield even more deadlocked. Every day, interstellar ships were destroyed and fell, but strangely, the total number of ships on the battlefield was decreasing rather than increasing. The demons faced the same situation, with more and more of their ships sent to the front lines against the angels. At the peak, the total number of ships involved in the main battle reached over 3 million, nearly 4 million. The intensity of the fighting was almost enough to match the record set during the Thousand-Year War between the two clans. However, compared to the battles between the angels and demons, the real brutality was in the battles between the demons and the machines. Inside the Mechanical King's domain, every starry universe was filled with wreckage of interstellar ships and ongoing battles between opposing fleets. This is a region where both sides keep sending troops to fight, and tens of thousands of interstellar warships have been lost in this small star system. It can be called the Mech Kingdom's meat grinder. Later generations also called it the Mechanical King's meat grinder battle. By mid-June, the demon race had sent 5 million of their interstellar warships through the stargates they seized early in the war. That is a very frightening number. Because the Mechanical King's location is special, with a permanent black hole on each side of its surrounding star systems. There are only two paths into the Mechanical King's territory, one toward the demon race's stargate, and the other toward the universe where the Xianlong is located. If the demon race wants to attack from both sides at once, it would take a lot of time and effort, and there's a risk of being attacked by the mechanical fleet along the way. So, the demon fleet chose to push straight through one route, directly attacking the Mechanical King's territory. This turned the battlefield into a kind of meat grinder. On the other end of the Mechanical King's territory, there is a stargate. The mechanical race constantly sends fleets from various places through that gate to support their territory. This creates a strange scene. Both sides' warships keep pouring into the Mechanical King's territory. Many of the mechanical race's industrial bases have started working at full capacity, producing interstellar warships rapidly, thanks to their strong industrial foundation. In just 2 months, the mechanical race managed to produce a legendary total of 1 million warships in a single month, helping to keep the battle under control. So far, because they couldn't capture the 2 stargates controlled by the demon race, the mechanical race has given up on that idea and is now focusing on full defense of the Mechanical King's territory. Here, nearly 4 million mechanical interstellar warships have been deployed, with 1/3 of them produced in just the past 2 months. Report: another defensive position has fallen. The enemy's T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship has destroyed our star fortress, the video window reports to Akin. I understand. The remaining interstellar warships at that position should retreat to the backup defenses and continue fighting. Akin looks at the star map in front of him, where another defense position is marked with a black cross. This also means that the demon army fleet is getting closer to capturing the mechanical palace. Hold on a little longer. Just a little longer. Akin keeps muttering to himself. The Demon Snake King army launched a strong attack along the battlefield's middle line. And accompanying the attack are 10 T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships. A piece of bad news arrives. 10 T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships? Hearing this, Akin remains silent for a long time, staring at the coordinates marked on the star map. These are the known locations of the Demon T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships, totaling at least 15. Plus the 10 suddenly appearing T6 destroyers, meaning the demon army has 25 T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships on the battlefield of the Mechanical Palace. And the mechanical race has no way to counter this main force of the demon fleet. Every time they try to risk destroying the enemy retreats. Especially on another battlefield, where it is rumored that the Angel race destroyed a T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship, making these T6 destroyers even more cautious and not giving any chance. Right now, the sudden appearance of these 10 T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships is very likely part of the demon race's current offensive plan. They aim to use these 10 destroyers to break through the remaining defenses of the mechanical race. Give my orders. Gather all the rested fleet units and send them to defend the central line. We cannot let the enemy succeed in their attack. Although Akin's orders were delivered, it didn't mean they could be carried out immediately. On this narrow battlefield, sometimes having more starships isn't as good as having higher quality ones. This is the difference between T5 starships and near T6 starships. Time slowly passed. Every few hours, bad news came from the front lines. Defense positions were falling one after another, and the rate of loss was several times faster than before. As a machine being, Akin shouldn't have emotional reactions, but right now she felt a heavy pressure in her chest, like she couldn't breathe. She pressed her hands on the desk, barely holding herself up. Suddenly, a video window popped up in front of her. Our first batch of starships is on the way. Akin, what's the situation on your side? A silver voice appeared in the video window. Akin's body trembled, and she quickly replied, not good. The demon race has sent 10 near T6 destroyers to attack our defenses. The speed of our positions falling is increasing. If we don't control this, there could be a total collapse of the battlefield. Don't worry. Once our starships arrive, we will definitely stabilize the situation. On the side of the mechanical royal court, at the Iron Guard Gate. Strange, why do all the starships requesting to travel together have no names? A mechanical intelligent being's eyes spun as it asked in a curious, childlike voice. Maybe they are classified starships, another companion explained while busy with their work. Look, their access permissions are all top tier. Just then, the Stargate completed the deployment of a batch of starships. A series of interstellar warships emerged from the Stargate and stood in the docking area outside the gate. Two intelligent mechanical beings looked at the appearance of these warships, and they were stunned, because they had never seen these interstellar warships before. Although they had never seen them, they could feel a sense of pressure coming from these ships. This was a feeling they had never experienced with their current active interstellar warships. Report, the prisoner fleet has completed the Stargate transit, one mechanical officer reported to Ain. All prisoner starships immediately head to the Royal Court battlefield. Ain ordered anxiously. She had received news about the battlefield from Aegean earlier and could sense the danger there. They urgently needed support from these interstellar warships. At this moment, a video window popped up. Ain hesitated for a moment, but then clicked to accept. A man wearing sunglasses and shirtless, smiling, greeted Ain. The interstellar warships are all offline and in service, but you didn't tell me. How come your mechanical race, too, forgets to say hello? Ain replied calmly. According to our agreement, this time we owe you. Thank you for providing the technology for these interstellar warships. Honestly, you guys are too cautious. Why not just use my existing Dragon series interstellar warships? Haven't you seen the Angel race already using my ships and destroying the Demon race's T6 destroyers? Zhao Chen teased. We don't need those standard interstellar warships, Ain said sincerely. And for the T5 warships, you can't supply them on a large scale. It's only this type of warship technology that we need. Anyway, I want to thank you on behalf of the mechanical race, she added sincerely. Strange thing is, don't you have T6 level warship technology? Aren't you supposed to have inherited the technological legacy of the Gaia Empire? Zhao Chen looked at Ain with suspicion. Ain was silent for a moment and then said, only the master knows about this information. Yeah, right, Zhao Chen rolled his eyes. Is there anything else? Ain asked calmly. All right, your mechanical race really doesn't recognize friends easily. When we were building the starship, I got 3 calls a day. Now, they've stopped contacting me. Sigh. When people leave, the bed feels cold, Zhao Chen said with a sad look. The front line of the royal court is in an emergency, and we urgently need to support, Ian explained. Getting away, running from the starship, that's not your problem. Forget it. There are always many reasons not to love, Zhao Chen said, touching his eyes that had no tears. Ian said nothing. This human was very strange. Recently, he often said such weird things. I wonder if all human men are like this. Nothing interesting, like talking to a wooden doll. I won't chat with you anymore. Keep fighting if you want. When there's news, remember to tell me. Zhao Chen waved his hand. Ian immediately ended the communication without saying a word. Look at this woman. She's really like steel, completely unfeeling, Zhao Chen said, looking at Lilith, who was sunbathing in a black swimsuit nearby. She is made of steel, Lilith rolled her eyes. And all that talk you just said, any human woman would get annoyed by your teasing. You provided the mechanical race with the technical drawings for that T5 prisoner-class heavy starship. Aren't you worried about creating a threat? Chu Xian, who was also on vacation nearby, asked. Zhao Chen smirked and said, this starship has many flaws. It's a T5 level starship with obvious advantages and even more obvious disadvantages. But it just happens to be suitable for the mechanical race. As for creating a threat, do you think they dare to use the starship I gave them to fight us? What are its advantages and disadvantages? Chu Xian asked curiously. She also remembered a past experience with a certain faction of the Star Glory Empire, which had suffered from similar issues. Zhao Chen raised his hand, and a holographic image of an interstellar battleship appeared before everyone. The T5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleship is a very special ship. First, its main flaw is that it takes a very long time to build. It takes longer to build than any of our current X-Dragon T5 interstellar battleships. But this flaw isn't so obvious under the large industrial system of the mechanical clan. That's also why I approached that Aine earlier. She would be interested in this kind of battleship. The main reason she would want to get this battleship from us is because it has the ability to challenge a T6 interstellar battleship. However, it is more like a suicide-type battleship. It has all the features of a T5 battleship. It's fully equipped. Second, it has a short-range attack function that allows the heavy battleship to temporarily increase its speed and break into enemy lines. In a short time, it can create a killing zone within an area. But using this short-range attack drains energy, causing the ship's speed to drop afterward. Because of this, it's easy for the ship to get stuck in enemy territory and never return. This doesn't fit our X-Dragon combat style, so this battleship will not serve in our X-Dragon Legion. Hearing the commander's explanation, Chu Xian nodded in understanding. This really fits its name, prisoner. A prisoner fighting desperately in a crisis, Lilith murmured beside her. With our interstellar battleship providing support, the mechanical clan's battlefield should turn from danger to safety, right? Chu Xian asked. Zhao Chen was silent for a moment and didn't reply. Lilith spoke on his behalf. Normally, yes. But so far, we still haven't found the location of the starship factories where the demons produce so many interstellar battleships. This is a major hidden danger. So, no one knows how many starships the demon clan will unleash next. When will we attack? Charlotte has been worrying about this for a while, to the point of pulling out her hair, Chu Xian teased. Soon, very soon. This storm will end soon, Zhao Chen whispered while lying on a beach chair. Report. 3 T5 Imperial Battle Blade class heavy starships have been destroyed by enemy near T6 annihilators. Report. 3 defense positions have fallen, and all crews of 3 battle fleets have sacrificed themselves. Report. The enemy is increasing the speed of their middle advance. Red boxes keep popping up in Aegon's view. He presses his hands on the table and remains silent for a long time. All the mechanical starships available are now on the front line. There are no other options left. If this situation continues, the Demon Clan's fleet will break through the mechanical palace within 3 days. Report. On the front line, the enemy has 25 near T6 annihilators and nearly 500 T5 Terror Blade class medium starships. Our side has only 700 T5 starships of various types fighting, and the number is decreasing. The enemy is pushing forward aggressively, aiming to break through our mechanical palace in this battle phase, his subordinate told Aegon. Aegon remained silent. He has already made all necessary arrangements. Besides deploying newly built starships to keep pushing into this meat grinder battlefield and delay the enemy's attack, there's no other way. Aegon, the prisoner fleet requests to enter the battlefield. A video window pops up showing Aegon, who has finally arrived at the Mechanical Palace battlefield. Aegon, the situation on the front line is. Aegon is worried. He wonders if the secret weapon Aegon prepared during this time can turn the tide. Aegon speaks seriously. Aegon, we have no other options now. No matter what, let's give it a try. Aegon was silent for a moment and then said, the prisoner fleet is allowed to enter the battlefield. Yes, said Aegon, who immediately began deploying his prisoner fleet. 300 brand new, never-before-seen interstellar warships appeared on the Mechanical King's defense line. Begin the counterattack. Aegon ordered, not to defend, not to support, but to strike back. The flagship of the Snake King Legion, a semi-T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship, the Bridge. What's that? Marshal Snake King asked in surprise, pointing at a mechanical-type interstellar warship on the screen. Next to him, the demon aide quickly searched the database, but there was no information about this ship. The demon aide said, this type of interstellar warship used by the mechanical race is not recorded in the database. It should be a new model. Based on its shape, it appears to be a T5 class heavy battleship. It was probably just designed and is part of the first batch to go into service. Hearing his aide's explanation, Marshal Snake King sneered and said, a new model? It just went into service and dares to appear on this battlefield. Perfect. Let's send it back for repairs. No, probably to be melted down and rebuilt. Ha ha. Marshal Snake King laughed loudly, feeling confident with his semi-T6 destroyers backing him. He had never felt so relaxed in a space war. He thought that any enemy standing before him could be easily destroyed. Order the entire fleet to speed up. In 3 days, I will destroy the Mechanical King's palace. How dare they be so arrogant? The mechanical race will bow before us, the demons. Marshal Snake King said with a big laugh. Meanwhile, the Demon Legion fleet increased its speed. On the other side, 300 T5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleships also appeared at the front of the defense line. They revealed their sharp fangs. Report, Prisoner Group 1 has locked onto a near T6 destroyer, coordinates //. Report, Prisoner Group 3 has locked onto a near T6 destroyer, coordinates //. Report, Prisoner Group 7 has locked onto a near T6 destroyer, coordinates //. Report, Prisoner Group 9 has locked onto a near T6 destroyer, coordinates //. Report, Prisoner Group 10 has locked onto a near T6 destroyer, coordinates //. A silver looked at the star map in front of him. The 5 prisoner groups had each locked onto their own targets, marked with red circles. Approve the 5 combat missions. The other groups continue forward. With the combat orders approved, all 5 prisoner groups began preparing. The first prisoner group, 30 T5 heavy starship assault cruisers, faced one direction and formed a diamond-shaped battle formation. Then, the engines of these 30 T5 heavy starships started to boost their power. Starship engines, enter overload mode. Overload operation countdown. 1, 2, 3. One by one, the T5 heavy starships suddenly showed speeds beyond all other T5 starships, rushing quickly in one direction. This sudden charge caught the demon fleet off guard. Although they quickly used firepower to suppress the attack, these were T5 starships with very strong firepower. They ignored the firepower suppression and kept their speed. Even if enemy starships blocked their path, they would either destroy them with their front cannons or crash into them directly. After such a fierce charge, 30 T5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault ships shot forward like a thrown spear, quickly diving into the enemy ranks of the demon fleet. What are they trying to do? Are they looking for death? Marshal Snake King frowned as he watched this scene. Because these T5 interstellar battleships had entered his demon fleet, even though they were T5 level, they would eventually be overwhelmed by tens of thousands of demon ships. Oh, their target is our quasi-T6 destroyer, shouted the demon officer nearby. At this moment, Marshal Snake King's pupils widened. They saw that after a frantic short-range acceleration, These 30 T-5 ships stopped around a quasi-T6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship. Perhaps because they didn't expect this situation at all, even when the quasi-T6 destroyer was surrounded, it didn't fire a single shot at the suddenly appearing T-5 ships. It was as if it was saying, "Where did you come from? What do you want?" "They're trying to cut off our quasi-T6 destroyer," the demon officer exclaimed. Marshal Snake King, however, simply smiled with disdain, sitting calmly in the captain's chair, and said, "With just 30 T-5 interstellar ships, you think you can surround and kill our quasi-T6 destroyer? Do you really think we demons are so easy to defeat? If it were only 30 T-5 battleships surrounding a quasi-T6 destroyer, he might still worry a little. But remember, there are millions of demon ships around, fighting the enemy flagship among thousands of ships. Do you think this is some legendary space story? Destroy them." Marshal Snake King ordered directly. Deep inside the enemy fleet are the T-5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleships. Although they are surrounding the nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleship, they are also under attack by tens of thousands of demon fleet ships. Despite this, the T-5 prisoners do not retreat. Instead, they continue to approach the nearly T-6 destroyer, using their main guns and secondary weapons to attack the destroyer's star shield. This scene is also happening to the other 4 targeted nearly T-6 destroyer-class heavy interstellar battleships. Report: the captain of the nearly T-6 destroyer-class battleship has sent a message. These T-5 interstellar battleships are equipped with weapons specifically designed to target star shields, which consume a lot of shield energy, said the demon officer to Marshal Snake King. Marshal Snake King snorted coldly. So what? Just destroy them all. At this moment, Marshal Snake King has not yet realized the threat. Report: T-5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleship T-0127 has only 10% star shield energy remaining. We will activate the Mad Prisoner plan. This request is first sent to the first prisoner group. After the leader of the first prisoner group agrees, it will be forwarded to the rear ship, the Ainswa ship. Seeing this notice, Ainswa ship should have expected such a situation. As a mechanical life form, she probably wouldn't have many emotional reactions. But now, she feels a pain in her chest. She knows very well the nature and true power of this T-5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleship. T-5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleship T-0127. Suddenly, this battleship stops all attacks. All the guns on its hull fall silent, as if a stop button has been pressed. Then, the main gun at the bow begins to emit a strong red glow, like a piece of red-hot iron. After that, all the main and secondary guns show the same phenomenon. From a distance, the starship's hull showed red streaks, like bright red flowers blooming on its surface. What is this starship trying to do? Marshal Snake King looked at the scene with surprise. Suddenly, a bright beam of light shot out from the front cannon, more powerful and fierce than before. The energy was so strong that the cannon turned red and developed cracks. Even the base of the turret had visible gaps. Soon after, the main gun and secondary guns showed the same damage, with some firing ports exploding inside the barrels. Report: main cannon A11 is severely overloaded and has exploded. Report: secondary cannon Y87 is severely overloaded and has exploded. Messages about the explosions kept coming to the ship's bridge, but the mechanical captain remained calm and still. Next to him, there was a detailed diagram showing all the weapons modules of the starship, indicating how each weapon was functioning. Right now, all the weapons were flashing red warning signals. The terrifying beam of light hit the shield of the target, a T-6 class destroyer-type heavy starship. The powerful energy caused the shield to weaken, creating a gap. The remaining energy from the beam passed through the shield and struck the hull of the nearly T-6 class destroyer. Because most of the energy had already been used up during the shield attack, this hit only left a small dent on the ship's surface. Phase 1 of the Mad Prisoner plan is complete. Starting Phase 2, the mechanical captain ordered, removing his captain's hat and placing it on the desk. Mad Prisoner plan Phase 2 begins. Loading the starship's energy core with overload, preparing to inject the Mad Factor. Originally, Due to a previous short-range attack, this T5 prisoner-class heavy interstellar assault battleship's speed decreased. Suddenly, several conventional engines started working at high speed again, increasing its speed. The ship was rushing toward a nearly T6 Dreadnought-class heavy interstellar battleship. "What's it trying to do?" Marshal Snake King exclaimed, standing up and watching the reckless T5 starship heading straight for their nearly T6 Dreadnought's star shield. "Is it trying to ram us?" "But our ship still has star shield protection. Ramming now would be pointless." The demon officer beside him also looked surprised and confused. "Wait, I forgot to mention something." Zhao Qian suddenly remembered something he had overlooked. "What?" Chu Xian asked curiously. "Mad prisoner mode. It can activate a restriction that puts the weapon modules into overload. During overload, the weapon's attacks become much stronger than before, but the side effect is that the gun barrels might become unusable or even explode," Zhao Qian explained. "Isn't that suicidal? If all weapon modules overload and fail, then they would be vulnerable to attack, like sitting ducks," Lilith exclaimed.